And we're live. Welcome to the Onewa Domain, home of Takapuna Cricket Club for today's Men's Premier 2020 finals game between hosts Takapuna Cricket Club and Parnell Cricket Club. The toss has been done here. It's a beautiful day. Parnell have won the toss and they have elected to bat first. I'm delighted to say I'm joined here alongside me in the commentary box by two aces superstars, Mr. Matt McEwen and Mr. Graham Beggin. I've got Matt McEwen sitting alongside me. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very good, mate. Looking forward to a spectacular game of cricket. Two serious teams, obviously one team completely undefeated, the Takapuna Pirates, and obviously Parnell only had the one defeat earlier in the season to Papatoe, and I think they were a little bit depleted on that day. So it's going to be a spectacular final, and yeah, let's get out there and enjoy some high quality cricket.
Yeah, Takapuna taken to the field to bowl first. Return of two aces players, Captain Craig Chopra and Robbie O'Donnell. What difference is that going to make to their team today?
Oh, massive. They're big club men, and they've put on some pretty good performances for the club in the past. And you know, having Chops back, the leader of the aces, and Robbie O'Donnell, who is a real pirate at heart, a real club man, and I think they're just fizzed to be back around the group. So yeah, they're going to bring a lot of intensity to this game, and obviously Will O'Donnell, the brother of Robbie, captaining the Pirates, and he's a very, you know, big leader in this side.
As we see so regularly, 2020 cricket all about hitting boundaries, big sixes and fours, but today both these teams have made their way to the finals with an outstanding bowling and fielding record. Takapuna, in their previous 5 games, have bowled their opposition out 5 times in a row. Incredibly impressive in a 2020 competition, Matt.
Oh, definitely. They've got a top-class bowling attack. You know, plenty of variations, and they're always looking to take wickets, which is obviously a key thing in T20 cricket. Looks like we're going to be starting off with a bit of spin, which is always good. And we've got at the batting crease Ben Ray, former domestic cricketer for Canterbury, and moved up here about 5 or 6 years ago, and he's made an impact on the Parnell club.
It's going to be Mike Schlanders to take the new ball for Takapuna. He's had a fantastic tournament with both bat and ball. Joint leading wicket taker for the Takapuna, along with Matt Jones with 12 wickets. Best figures of 4 for 19 in this competition. So yeah, always interesting starting off with spin in the power play. Obviously only 2 fielders allowed outside the ring through the first 6 overs. As we can see from where we're sitting here, we've got a deep long on and a deep mid wicket in place. How do you feel about this tactic early doors?
Yeah, I like it. Ben Ray's not going to die wondering, I know that for a fact. Ben will look to use his feet and will look to hit leg side. Hell of a cricketer. Absolutely. And here we go, first ball. And he's gone over deep square, and a couple of bounces and runs away for 4, first delivery. And it's a hell of a way to start a T20 final.
We see it straight away. Ben Ray not had the competition he'd have been looking for so far, but finals day, big days where the big players step up. He's got his team off to a perfect start here. Parnell 4 for no loss after the first ball. So we see him there looking to utilise the leg side straight away. Schlanders coming round the wicket to start off. And nice cricket, just nudged down to long on, that's a single. Talking about big players and big matches stepping up when they're needed. The 2 men joining me along in the commentary box today have both tasted success in finals and have both stepped up when they've been required. Matt McEwen, a fantastic knock in last year's final, and Graham Beggin the year before, making a century in the final.
And it's a quicker arm ball outside the off stump, and it is going to race away through the keeper's legs for 4. And has obviously been a little underside edge on that and has raced away down to the boundary.
Parnell Cricket Club are putting this Taka bowling attack to the sword here. 3 balls in, we are 9 for no loss. They're making an early statement here at the Onewa Domain. Winning the toss, batting first, they're looking to put the home side under pressure Schlanders again, that's just knocked down the ground for another single. So Matt, tell me a little bit about how the players will be feeling today. Big fight.
They'll be looking to sort of reverse that loss last year. But Parnell, I think Parnell have got a nice feel in their club. They've gone well last year with their one-day campaign, so they'll know how to play cricket at this time of year.
And a big appeal, and he's been given. Mike Schlanders takes the first wicket. And just as we sit here saying what a fantastic start it's been, the away side are pegged back. The first wicket goes down in the first over. Mike Schlanders trapping Ben Ray, LBW. And his difficult campaign continues. He's got off to a bright start, but he's been gone. End of the first over. Parnell 10 for 1. Schlanders coming round the wicket. It was a very full ball. Ray on the sweep. I think he was signalling to the umpire there that he might have been disappointed with the decision. Thought it might have been pitching outside leg.
Yeah, I'd love to have a look at that again. Obviously, the right arm bowler coming around the wicket. So obviously, yeah, it's tough work to get the pitch in front and hit the middle of off stump. But hey, that's how it goes. Cricket is a tough game at times.
Yeah, you guys sitting at home might have a slightly better view of the line of that delivery than we will from the angle we're sitting at. But umpires, he took his time. He had to think about it. And the finger went up, so the first wicket down in the first over of the grand final. So an eventful start here, Matt.
Eventful start, and Andy Lane joins Flynn out at the middle there, and it's 1 to go on the over and 10 for 1. It's an interesting start, but Andy Lane's had a good season. He's a top run scorer for Parnell, and I'm sure he'll be looking to make a big impact on this game today.
Just a reminder to those of you watching at home, the winner of today's final will actually go through to the National Championships. Now, Matt, obviously, your team, Howick, winning last year. How was it going through to the National Champs after your success?
Well, unfortunately, last year the National Champs was for one-day cricket, so Parnell won that last year, so they get to go through. They went through last year with one-day cricket, but this year it's been changed to the National Champs for T20. So, so the winner of this one goes through to Cornwall Park at the start of April, and we'll try and win, I guess, the first national T20 title.
I mean, and you can bet Auckland Cricket will be there with the cameras on, so you can follow from home wherever you are around the world watching. Wherever you are, drop us a comment on the live chat on the YouTube as we are. Let us know where you are, where you're watching, which team you're backing, what you think the score will be. It's been an interesting start here at the Onewa Domain. 1 over gone, it's 10 for 1. And sharing the new ball from the pavilion end, it's number 1, Dan James. Again, had a fantastic competition so far. He's picked up 6 wickets, best figures of 3 for 11. But he's been a key member of this bowling attack. He's been very consistent. Tell us a little bit more about him, please, Matt.
Danny James. He got me out last week in the semi-final.
He must be a gun.
He just bowled some nice little left armers, and he'll just. Right arm, sorry. He bowled right arm around the wicket to me last week and tried to cramp me up, and I hit it straight up in the air. Sorry about that. But it's he's whippy. He gets it through.
It's a tall man.
Yeah, a couple of change-ups in there. Bowled the wee off-cutter last week and hit it straight up in the air. Was not the way you want to get out.
Risk reward, my friend. Yeah. Risk reward.
Here we go. Over 2.
We'll save the proper innings for proper batsmen. Here comes first ball. Just drifting onto the pads, that one tucked away into the leg side, but nicely fielded in the ring. Flynn McGregor Sumter, leading run scorer for Parnell this competition, of course, made a fantastic 91 off 57 balls against Waitakere back in against Ellerslie, beg your pardon, back in round 4. That fantastic knock, including 7 boundaries and 6 sixes. But he's had his outside edge beaten there. This is a good start from Dan James. Attacker boys looking right up for this. A couple of early boundaries for the Parnell openers, but that wicket seems to have really pegged things back a little bit.
Yeah, I think the experience of the aces coming back, Kachopa, O'Donnell will really give these boys a real help on today. So here we go. And bowls again and driven to Kachopa at mid-on and no run scored. Kachopa's have been quite classy in the field in the last month or so. Obviously, there was a sensational catch in the...
That was an unbelievable catch. If you missed it, head on over to the Auckland Cricket Instagram page, scroll down a little bit and watch Craig Kachopa take one of the best catches I've ever seen, diving one-handed at short mid-wicket. Yeah. The most nonchalant of catches you will ever see. Just stands up, throws the ball away. Whatever, I do this every day. Thanks very much. And there's another dot, 4 dots to start this over.
There was actually a real specky taken yesterday in the Aces game versus Canterbury, Ben Lister. Ooh. He's a freak in the field, this bloke, and
he's a big man.
Took a serious grab. It would be up there competing with Craig's catch, but just where Craig's catch was taken and in terms of who he got out as well, probably puts it just a little bit above the Ben Lister grab yesterday.
Obviously, Takapuna bowling first here do have the home advantage, but don't think that Parnell have come without their fan club directly opposite us from the ground, sort of fine leg as to where we are, where you'll be watching from this end. Parnell have got their marquee set up. They always bring a crowd. They're a very loyal fan base of a club, and they're definitely here to support their boys.
Very true, and if you want to head on down, there's plenty of space around the ground, and there's even the Rose Garden, as I've been told. A lovely area for the ladies to sit over by the Parnell tent. A bit of rosé on the outfield, which is always nice on a hot summer's day.
Maybe one later, buddy. Maybe one later.
You're telling me.
Just one. Now in comes James again. Another dot ball would see off a fantastic maiden over, and he has. There's another dot. That is a fantastic over ball by Dan James. That's a maiden. So a very eventful start to this final here. 2 overs gone. It's 10 for 1. Today's final being played at the Onewa Domain rather than at the Eden Park Outer Oval as we've seen in the last couple of years. But the White Ferns are playing South Africa as we speak today. So if you've got the opportunity, head online or head over to Eden Park and show them your support. They had a difficult game in the first game against South Africa. They'll be looking for a strong comeback today. Just as I say that, I've been shown the score. The White Ferns currently 108 for 9 against South Africa. We're going to have to rally behind them and inspire them on to get their bowlers up and ready for what's going to be a difficult total to defend. Third over here at the Onewa Domain in this men's 2020 championship final. We've got some left arm spin now, and he's gone straight through him. He's gone straight through him. His first ball. Left arm round the wicket, he's fired it in, and he has taken leg stump out of the ground. What a fantastic start this is for the home side.
Sensational start. That's the end of Andy Lane. And yeah, it's not a nice scene when you have to turn around and look at your leg stump or off stump out of the ground lying on the turf.
It's not often you'll see that from a spinner, but he has ripped leg stump out of the ground. And after a couple of early boundaries, Takapuna are stamping their authority on this game early. Both openers removed in the first 3 overs. And the new man coming in for Parnell made a superb century yesterday. Unfortunately, not quite able to get the aces over the line, but it's number 15 wicketkeeper Ben Horn. He's in red-hot form, Matt.
Yeah, he one of the special knocks yesterday to get the aces. Yeah, agonisingly close to a hell of a run chase after sort of, yeah, just losing your way through the middle. But yeah, Ben, unbelievable first class, first list 100, and yeah, I think a lot of it relies on Ben's shoulders today. There's plenty of batting left in the shed, but I think if Ben can, get going and then look to, execute his sweeps and his reverse sweeps towards the end. that will put Parnell in putting a decent score on the total on the board.
Well, Ben, along with a couple of other Aces players like yourself, have been competing in this competition regularly. And Ben has scored 135 runs in his competition so far, 250s and a top score of 63 not out. So he's certainly been having a good season. And like you said, man, red hot in form. Parnell will be looking at him to step up in a big game.
Yeah, you'll find it now that Ben will look to bat a long way outside outside leg stump, sort of a foot to a foot and a half at times, and just sort of offer up his stumps. And that just sort of makes the bowler just think, what's going on here?
Joint top leading wicket taker for the Pirates. 12 wickets to him and Mike Schlanders. 13 now for the pair of them. They've both picked up a wicket in the power play early days. And Ben Horn goes big straight away. He's going to be taken down the long on. No, he's not. It's cleared the man. There was a split second from our angle here. I thought that was going to go straight down his throat, but Ben Horn has timed the pants off that.
Yeah, down where he's there, and Robbie O'Donnell unfortunately had to watch that sail quite sweetly over his head. But that's a really good delivery there. I think trying to make Ben have to make the play to get them off to a start again, I guess.
Absolutely. Jones the bowler will not mind seeing that too much from Horn. He won't mind seeing him trying to take him down the ground early. Like you say, a slight mishit on that, and Parnell are really in trouble. Takapuna very much with the upper hand here in the first couple of overs. A key thing to see here as well, currently sitting 16 for no loss. But most of the runs so far coming from boundaries, Matt. They're being real tight on the singles in the ring.
Yeah, very tight on the ring, and we've just seen there Ben Horn, going to his favoured sweep shot, and almost skittled him there, but no runs conceded, which is always a good over from
wonderful over from Matt Jones. 6 runs and the wicket of Andy Lane coming from it. 3 overs gone here at the Onewa Domain. Takapuna well on top. Parnell 16 for 2. Talking there about Takapuna's bowling and how effective they have been in this tournament. As mentioned earlier, out of the 8 games they've played, the previous 5, they have taken all 10 wickets when they have bowled, which is an incredibly impressive feat. Bowl any team out in a 2020 game is impressive, let alone doing it 5 times on the bounce. But don't count Parnell out. They have also bowled 5 teams out of their 8 games this competition so far. A quick single taken there to mid-on, but a little fumble, they'll come through for a single. Incredible stats, Matt. Parnell across the tournament so far have taken 74 out of a possible 80 wickets, and Takapuna have done them dirty by taking 75 out of the 80 wickets. And as we currently stand before the game, this is how close the sides are. Takapuna 74 out of the 80 wickets available, and 1,107 runs scored in the competition. Parnell taking 75 out of the 80 wickets and 1,113 runs scored in the competition. So 6 runs and 1 wicket separating these sides so far throughout the tournament. You could not ask for a more even matchup, Matt McEwen.
That's some serious homework. That's some very good homework, and wow. I don't even know how to respond to that, because that's a lot of time behind a computer screen getting prepped for this final.
You almost couldn't write it.
No, you couldn't.
And I promise you, regardless of the score that Parnell put up here, do not count them out. They have a fantastic bowling attack, as just described. Semi-final, we were lucky enough to be at Parnell at Shore Road, watching them take on Suburbs New Lynn. They only posted 132 that day, but they comfortably bowled Suburbs out for 86, and Suburbs never looked in the game at one point. So you can see they're comfortable defending a total.
And then comes Dan James again, and Hornet drives down the ground, and
Excellent
well fielded by the bowler. No run scored. Yeah, I think both these teams know their backyards pretty well. Parnell at the Orchard, and obviously Taka out here. some of these boys have been at Taka and at Parnell since they were, very young boys. So, the grounds don't scare them. I think it's more that, the occasion sometimes gets to people, but definitely don't think that's the case today. I think everyone's just here for a good old fun day of cricket. And Will O'Donnell,
And
that is out. Ben Horn chips it straight to Will O'Donnell at mid-on. And that brings Parnell 3 down.
you are kidding me.
Yeah.
Ben Horn is absolutely livid with himself. And you have to say that is a soft dismissal for a man coming off the back of a 70-odd ball 100 yesterday. He has probably timed that reasonably well, but he's hit it straight at mid-off.
Yeah.
The man did not have to move. All of a sudden, Parnell 17 for 3 here, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, and you're just overhearing Ben talking to Brad Rodden, the incoming batsman, just telling him the wicket is very slow out there. Brad Rodden, skipper of the Parnell Peaches, and very, very classy cricketer, and probably one of the better looking humans going around club cricket. More of a silver fox, I'd classify him as.
Are you saying that just because he has a beard, man?
No, because he is a very good looking human for good old Brad. And Brad's played a lot of first class cricket as well. Played for Otago, had a good time down in Otago, and then obviously moved up to Auckland for work and took over the leadership of the Peaches and has led them in a very, very good direction. And I think today's going to be the day where Brad shows up. I really hope today's the day that Brad shows up, because he hasn't had a tough tournament, but I think he's better than what he's done through this tournament. Brad Rodden, 140 runs this campaign with an average of 23. Top score 33. He's better than that. So this could be the day where he comes to the party. And then we go again, and Brad Rodden faces his first ball. And the typical Brad Rodden leave outside the off stump.
Alone. You love to see a leave in 2020 cricket. So a highly entertaining start to this final here. We've had boundaries, we've had a straight 6, and we've had 3 wickets. Not the start that Parnell were after, but Takapuna will be delighted with the start that their bowlers have given them. That's a fantastic platform for them to build on. Try and skittle Parnell for a small total. They will, as we just mentioned there, their ability to bowl teams out. Takapuna will be smelling blood here. They'll be looking to skittle Parnell here as quickly as possible. Another dot ball sees the end, the 4th over, just a 1 run coming from it. 4 overs gone. Parnell 17 for 3.
Yeah, let's go around the grounds here, and we'll just nip back to Eden Park outer oval. The White Ferns 115 for 9. Hayley Jensen 17, and number 11 Holly Huddleston is on 1. Yeah, it was been a tough old day out for the White Ferns, but you never know. Enough runs on the board this could be enough. 115, but you'd hope they can get another 20 or 30. It's still 15 overs left in the game. And one of the newer aces, Ross de Braak, going to come into the attack now. Left arm seamer. Came in at the T20 time of the year for the Super Smash, and had a reasonably successful time of it. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes today. $17 for 3 after 4. So it's a time for a rebuild, and you'd be sort of looking at, if you can get to that sort of 150, 160 score, that's where you can bring your bowling attack into the game.
Yeah.
Anything less than that, I think you're going to be really, especially against this Taka team, they've brought in some batting options, and that's well whipped off his legs. That's a great boundary.
A poor start for Ross de Braak, straying onto the pads. It doesn't matter what the score is, a class player is going to put that away. 21 for 3 here, Parnell. And you read my mind there, Matt. I think anything around 150 odd, Parnell with their bowling attack will definitely fancy themselves to be able to keep that down to as small as be able to keep the Taka batters down. Oh, on the leading edge to mid-on there, but it's fallen well short.
Some real service from Keikachopa there. A little bit of a dodgy throwback to the keeper, but hey, the keeper's done well to clean up there. That's just been whipped out to Max O'Dowd, the Dutch international. He's had a serious one-day campaign. He sort of hasn't gone as well as he would have hoped. Yeah, would have hoped. He's up there in the runs, 189 runs, but I think he's gone unbelievably well in the one-day.
Jersey's an island in between England and France, just off the coast of St Malo. Not part of the UK, but I'm proudly British. And I think Max O'Dowd hit about 130 not out that day. It was great.
Oh, great!
It was a good day.
How big's Jersey? I've never heard of Jersey before. Just a little update on what.
So, as we sit, Matt McEwen has been fired from the commentary box. No, fantastic.
That's some serious fun facts about Jersey, mate. I've really enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to getting more out of you later in the day.
I promise you, if you want an exciting team to watch play cricket, Jersey are doing wonderfully well. The last few years has been a massive rise through the ranks, from all the way down in World Cup Division 6, all the way through to the World 2020 qualifiers against associate nations of the likes of Nepal, UAE, Namibia, Kenya, Nigeria, of the likes. We held our own.
Good stuff.
Very good, mate. Shouting out the Reds all the way across the world. Got some very close friends in that team, some people I've played cricket with for a long, long time, doing very well. But on the topic of the Reds doing
talking about Jersey again, I actually have played with a guy that plays for the Jersey national team, Nick Greenwood.
Nick Greenwood.
Yeah,
Nick Greenwood is from Wellington.
Yeah, Wellington. Yeah, very good cricketer.
Nick Greenwood is a new addition to the Jersey setup. I was lucky enough to play in his debut. Very good player, very fine player. Yep. Has recently made his first 100 for the Jersey senior side. Still a young guy. He's only, I think he's 20. Bowls right arm offies as well. Yeah, very good lad. And another boundary there, just in the ball previously, hooked away over the leg side. Just a way to highlight just how small
this world is.
I was going to say the square boundaries are.
Oh. Everyone loves Jersey cricket.
Dearie me.
Yeah, Dan James is showing a real niche to this attack. He's always pretty classy out here. I've always enjoyed his bowling. And he comes again. And drop kicked away down to the Rose Garden.
Yes.
And races into the middle of the Rose Garden for 4.
Yeah, he's rolled his fingers across that one. You can see what he was trying to do. A little bit slower, but he's just drifted onto the pads. And again, a player of his ability is not going to miss out on that. McGregor Sumter whipping that one away off his legs. He picks up his second boundary of the over. Good little momentum switcher here for Parnell. They've needed this. On the topic of Reds dominating cricket, Parnell are mounting a little counter-attack in this over.
And punch through cover, and that is going to race away through the cover boundary for 4. That's a lovely career shot. That's the third of the over. This is becoming quite an expensive one. You just got to hope here that Parnell's got this good over to bring them semi back into the game. They just need to keep building for maybe another 3-4 overs, and they can start to go again. Absolutely. Obviously, it being a smaller ground, they can look to sort of, take a little bit of time out of the game. But it also, you just don't want to go for 3 boundaries and then lose a wicket.
Absolutely.
That's where it brings the game back to you.
You're absolutely right. Even after losing 3 early wickets here, the away side, the outfield is lightning quick here at the Onewa Domain, and the boundaries are very, very short. So Parnell will feel comfortable that they've got the batting to get them up to a competitive total here for sure. Interesting tactics from the boundary fielder there, throwing the ball in as hard as he possibly can straight into the ground. I like it. Very subtle tactics.
Tended to roll there instead of sort of bounce. Do you love a cold bevy? I've just been told the bar's just open, so if you want to get on down to, get down here and watch a bit of club cricket finals, come and get a jug of beer and park up and enjoy the afternoon of entertaining cricket.
Not for us, of course. We are working. Maybe afterwards. In comes James again. Full of length, and he's picked the gap. Oh, but nicely fielded there by the Aces skipper himself, leading by example. Number 7, Craig Kachopa, keeps that one down to 1. That is the end of the 5th over. Correction, the end of the 6th over. That brings the end to the power play. A runner ball here for the away side. Parnell Cricket Club currently sitting 36 for 3, and I'm delighted to say that Matt McEwen has now left the commentary box, and we are, and he has been swapped with Mr. Graham Beggin. How are you, my friend?
Very good, thanks, Al. Warm welcome to everyone joining us this afternoon from around the traps. It's been a sedate start from the Parnell batting unit. Flynn McGregor Sumter doing what he's done all season, showing a little bit of the backbone for this attack, measured, anchoring role, asking his players around him to bring a little bit of the firepower. Unfortunately, a few things haven't gone their way. Slow start, but as you say, anything can happen in the final. You just want to stay in the game for a while, keep in it, and as you say, a little bit of time at the wicket, adjust to conditions, and they can accelerate near the back end.
It's been an interesting start to this game. We've had a few boundaries. We've had a 6 from Ben Horn, but yeah, as you say, the 3 wickets there. But with the size of the boundaries, the speed of the outfield, and how the pitch looks, Parnell won't be too terrified yet, will they? They've still got batting in the hutch that can get them up to a total of around 150, 160, which I think will probably be around par on this deck.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, home conditions for attacker, so it will take some time for Parnell batsmen to get used to the surface. Early suggestions are that it's a little bit slow. Spin being used in the power play. Dan James not trying too much, just hitting away at a good length and creating the mistake. Just batsmen trying to force the pace. But we'll see spin through the middle here. Hopefully some composure from the skipper, Brad Rodden, and Flynn can just go on doing the job he's done for the team all season.
Obviously, Graham and I were fortunate enough to be at the semi-final where Parnell took on Suburbs at Shore Road, and we saw firsthand just how good the Parnell bowling attack was. So they will know if they can post anything sort of 140 upwards, they'll back themselves to defend that.
Absolutely. Parnell have been led by their bowlers all season, so they won't be out of it at all. And
as Brad Rodden goes big straight towards the Parnell fans, he's hit that one on top of the Parnell marquee, directly across from us here. That's gone over wide long on. A length ball, he's picked it up off his pads. He stands and admires it, more of a golf swing if anything, and that's gone a long way. Second 6 of the innings.
Beautiful. If you're watching at home, there's a strong breeze here this afternoon, blowing towards the tennis court end, so Will O'Donnell is bowling into the wind at the moment, and we might see them take on the fielders towards that end with the wind behind them. Lovely pick up that, and we saw a shot earlier from Ben Horn that also cleared the long on fielder for 6.
Yeah, you can see good experience there from Rodden, like as you say, using the wind. There is a very strong breeze starting to pick up now as we go. Short straight boundaries, but he's picked his option well there. He knows that even if he doesn't quite middle that one, he's still going to get some carry on it.
Absolutely, and I think that's probably in the mind of the bowler too. Will didn't flight any of those up. He tends to bowl a little flatter, not a big turner of the ball, but uses his height and change of pace. He's got a few deceptive tricks up his sleeve that will keep the batsman guessing. And we'll see now Matt Jones from the other end. He might throw a few up in the air, invite the batsman to take on the boundary down the ground. Look to create the error that way.
9 runs coming then from Will O'Donnell's first over. 7 overs gone. Parnell 45 for 3.
Matt Jones choosing to operate with a standard spinner's field, deep square, cow corner, long on, long off, and a cover sweeper. He's got 4 in the ring, 2 men on backward point, side, cover, and a 45. No mid-wicket, so inviting the batsman to go across the pad into the leg side. It's a short square boundary, can't be more than 60 metres, so a small chance of 2s there. So happy to concede the single onto the leg side. Neat piece of work down the leg side there.
I'll tell you what, Graham, I wouldn't be surprised if that boundary was shorter than 60 metres. We can see here from the middle to the 30-yard circle. I reckon that's further than to the boundary.
So maybe a little generous there, but we'll talk the batsman up. It is a batsman's game, so if they clear it, we'll talk it up as a good hit.
They'll have to do very well to tuck a 2 into that leg side. A little bit more flight onto that one. He's called him through for a single.
Left-hand batsman going over the wicket. He's got a mid-wicket in place here, only 1 point. Slightly different field. Also turning the ball back into the left-hander. Short boundary on the leg side with the spin. It'll be interesting to see if Flynn targets Jonesy as a matchup here. Yeah,
very dominant leg side field being set as well here. We've got a long on in place, a man at deep mid-wicket, a man at deep square leg, and a man back on the boundary at fine leg, and a deep cover in as well. And McGregor Sumter managed to find the one man in the ring on the leg side. But you can see, as you say, you can see what O'Donnell, Takapuna captain, is thinking McGregor Sumter will do. That one cut away out to the cover sweeper just for a single. But yeah, as Graham just said there, you can see that they're packing the leg side in order to cut off that shorter square boundary on that side.
Ball tucked into the leg side. Neat over there from Matt Jones. He didn't concede a boundary, which is a priority for the team at this stage. Slightly more defensive to the left-hand bat. Perhaps showing that there's not a lot of turn out there just yet, just a slightly slow nature. So asking the batsman to choose a matchup and perhaps being a bit more defensive against the left-handed bat who can hit with the spin to that short leg side. Knowing Rodden is probably stronger down the ground. These teams play each other a fair bit across all formats, so they do know each other. There's a bit of thought and preparation that goes into this.
Absolutely. As we say that, Rodden down the ground looking to hit with the wind again, but he's clothed that one completely. Just the one bounce into long off's hands. Just as you mentioned there, Brad Rodden definitely looking to target the short straight hits with the wind behind him for sure. Another single there. Parnell onto 49 for 3 here at the start of the 9th over. And it's not panic stations at all for the away side. They've got a long way to go left in this innings, but they'll need to keep consolidating. They'll want to keep a few wickets in hand towards the back end of the innings. Kind of similar to how we were in the semi-final that we were fortunate enough to commentate for. They will be looking for a few more than the 132 they made in that game against Suburbs New Lynn, especially with the size of the boundaries here today. But there's good partnership building here. As Rodden goes big, he goes down the ground with the wind behind him. That's comfortably cleared the man at long off to bring up his second 6. And that also brings up the 50 runs for Parnell midway through the 9th over.
He's taken on a long boundary straight with a long on and long off, but again, smart batting. He's picked his ball, hitting with the wind. It's a good option. He's chosen his bowler.
Yeah, real experience. And just as we've bigged him up, he is top edged one straight up in the air. As simple a catch for the wicketkeeper as you could ask for. And just as the tide seems to be turning back in Parnell's way, they've lost another wicket. Takapuna, this fantastic bowling and fielding side, have picked up another one. They've got the opposition captain. A big statement made here by the home side. Parnell now 55 for 4, correction.
We'll give credit to the bowler there. At home, you might have been able to see if that ball was thrown up a little slower, a little wider, encouraging the batsman to go again. Brad Rodden had a crack, but maybe the slowness of the wicket the extra bounce from Will O'Donnell and was only able to manage the top edge, which was cleanly taken by the wicket keeper. That Hendrik van Vuren.
He definitely got sucked into that shot, didn't he? He saw his a little bit slower, a little bit more air above the eye line, saw his name on the back page. Fancy putting another one onto the Parnell marquee, but didn't get to the pitch of the ball across the line, straight up in the air, and a nice easy catch. And another big moment in this game, G.
That moment welcomes Aniket Parikh to the crease, former Auckland Aces player, now plays his cricket with Parnell, all-rounder, right arm off spinner, and he's been batting in the middle for the Peaches. Useful player to have come in at this situation. Aniket straight away down the ground to get off strike. He played a really useful innings for the team in the semi-final. In similar conditions, being put under pressure. Hasn't blown the world away with his scores this season, but again, with a top score of 33 in this campaign, but hopefully saving his best for a last. Plenty of time here for him to get in, short square boundaries. Again, a very measured innings in the semi-final. Hopefully Aniket can take it nice and deep here with Flynn.
So 9 runs and the wicket of the captain Brad Rodden coming from the 9th over here. Parnell 57 for 4. They've got a lot of work to do here if they're going to get up to our magic total of 150. Winning the toss, batting first, they'll have wanted runs on the board, and this will not be the start they'll have been looking for, G.
No, Attacker have shown why they've been such a strong team at home all season. Restricting Parnell to 36 for 3 in the power play. And now as we're near the halfway stage, still around that 6 and over mark. We often look at the 12 over mark as a point where teams look to double their score. So that's something to keep an eye on. But they'll need wickets in hand. And if the wicket is slowing up, perhaps that does favour the more spin-heavy attack.
Coming into the attack here at the pavilion end is number 9, Ryan Quinn. He's had a fantastic season so far. One of the leading wicket takers in this Taka bowling lineup. He's taken 11 wickets in this competition. It's been mighty effective for them. And he's got a perfect little platform to come in here for the start of his spell. He'll have been looking at the short boundaries and the strong wind here as something to worry about as a bowler, but they've got off to a perfect start. That one just nice and full onto the pads, tucked away to the man out at deep square leg. McGregor Sumpter. He's still plodding along, he's still there. Opening batsman, he'll be looking to bat through the rest of the innings now, G.
Yeah, these batsmen will be talking to each other, comms around the wicket, the nature of the pitch, what a good pass score will be. They also have some firepower in the lineup to come with Ollie Pringle, Josh Fisher and Fine de Villiers, all players who can clear the boundaries. So these guys just need to take the game a little deeper and give those big boys a platform to hit at come those last few overs.
Oh, and an outside edge found there of Pereira, and that's going to run away for 4. So a little bit of luck there, little Parnell needing some of that at this stage.
Bit of width there from Ryan. Aniket looked to open the face there and got an outside edge, and it has beaten third man for 4. He again used his angles, used the deft touches very well in the semi-final, so no surprise that sort of shot for anyone who knows him. Of course, the Takapuna players hands on heads there, thinking they were just hard done by.
It's interesting to see that ball landing well short of the wicketkeeper. Pitch has looked a little bit slow so far. A couple of the Parnell batsmen walking off past us saying that the pitch is playing slow, holding up a fraction.
I think the Takapuna Pirates use that to their advantage. Their bowlers aren't expressed. They're missing Jordan Sussex here today, who would be the quickest of the lot. Dan James and Ryan Quinn tend to just hit a good length, bowl some change-ups, very accurate, and ask the batsman to force the pace. And then they use their spinners so well through the middle.
You mentioned there Jordan Sussex, paceman for Takapuna, of course, known around Auckland cricket for his fantastic spell of 3 overs, 5 wickets for just 10 runs against Birkenhead back in round 5, when they managed to skittle Birkenhead on their own ground for just 48 and knocked it off in 3.5 overs. And there's early finishes and there's being home before lunch. And again, both these sides have done that regularly throughout this campaign. That one sliced away behind square, and a fantastic effort on the boundary. He's not managed to keep it in. And that's gone away for another boundary. Pereira picks
In a single. Every run counts at this stage.
And that brings to the end the 10th over, the halfway stage here in this men's Premier 2020 final between home side Takapuna and away side Parnell Cricket Club. They won the toss and chose to bat first, and they are currently sitting 68 for 4 at the midway stage of the first innings. Even after losing a wicket of Brad Rodden, 20 runs coming from the previous 2 overs, so the runs are still flowing. There's definitely runs available to have here. Small boundaries at the Onewa Domain, quick outfield and a strong headwind going towards the tennis court end. And that's where we're going to see Mike Schlanders come back into the attack. Went for 10 runs from his first over of the game, but also picked up a big wicket.
32 runs since the end of the power play, so for the loss of 1 wicket. So Parnell are going on at a nice rate here, and as we said, that 12 over mark might be a key indicator for what a halfway score might look like, as we end Schlanders back in operating from around the wicket.
Slight correction on the score, beg your pardon, as you're 70 for 4 at the midway stage of this innings. Correction. Schlanders again round the wicket. It's just drifted onto the pads, nicely tickled, beaten short fine leg, and they'll come back for another 2. As mentioned, Graham, the runs still flowing here for the away side.
Yeah, a batsman that has got himself in. Flynn being able to rotate the strike, and then Aniket already able to find the boundary. Perhaps the team just settling into their work here. And of course, slightly different conditions to what Parnell experienced at home with the shorter boundaries and the good outfield. So when it does beat the inner ring, it tends to run away for 4.
Flynn McGregor Sumter is currently sitting 30 not out here. And there's an appeal for something there. Looked for a minute from where we're sitting that might have bowled him. But it's come off the pad and given leg byes by the umpire. Must have been pitching outside the line. We can see the Takapuna spinners in particular mixing their pace up really nicely today. Mike Schlanders in particular mixing his line and length up, keeping these Parnell batsmen guessing. He's missed out there, ball on the pads, he's tried to whip it away, but straight to fine leg for no run. It's crucial that the Parnell attack, even though they have lost a few wickets, do continue to put away the bad balls. As we say that there, that one a little bit quicker from Schlanders. It's caught a bottom edge, it's beaten third man. Is he going to pull it in? He is going to pull it in. That's a fantastic piece of work down on the third man boundary. Saved his team a run. And in a big final, it could be those runs that make all the difference.
Excellent piece there by Ryan Quinn. Just finished his over. Had to do some work in that short third man backward point area. Hunted down. Everyone counts here, as we said.
7 runs coming from the 11th over. Parnell 77 for 4.
Once again, a change from the pavilion end. Ross to Brock, left arm seam bowler. Probably the quickest of the Taka bowlers out there today. use the wind behind him. They'll set a square field, using their third man finally back. See if these batsmen take the ball on into the wind.
So, G, for those listening at home who don't know, you've had the pleasure of playing in one of these finals at the Eden Park Outer Oval 2 years ago, and also the pleasure of a match-winning 100. As a man who's been in that pressured position, how will, looking particularly at Flynn McGregor, Sumpter here, 30 not out, key part of this Parnell team going forwards for the next 9 overs, how will he be feeling out there right now?
Well, Flynn's doing a fantastic job, as he's done for the team all season. I think going into today, he was the top scorer. A strike rate only at about 110, so again, not someone who goes in and bashes it, but it is the core and adds that backbone to the team. Oh, and he's been given strangled down the leg side.
Just as we've been bigging him up, we've done it twice. Commentator's curse strikes again. Oh, a very innocuous dismissal. Yeah, you can see he's not happy. That's a real tough way to get out. We saw Virat Kohli dismissed down the leg side last night for India. And a ball banged in. He's just looked to kind of help it along its way. He's maybe caught a little top edge or a little bit of the glove. He's just managed to carry through to the wicketkeeper. It's been given by the umpire. We can see he's not happy with himself coming across the pitch. He wouldn't be. A cup final, you get yourself into the 30s, you get yourself in. That's not the way you want to be dismissed.
Nah, frustrating for the batsman. He's done a good job for his team in the first 10 overs. One that goes the home team's way. How often do we see that when you are playing at home? We just hope that no one in Parnell at least sits back and goes, oh, it's not our day. Teams can ride the wave. If I borrow a quote from Craig Kachopa in finals, he's done a job there, and that dismissal, I guess, brings Ollie Pringle to the crease. The tall left-handed all-rounder will look at these boundaries, and there are very few fields going around that are big enough for him. So if he gets in, it should be some entertainment for the visiting crowd this afternoon.
Yeah, Ollie Pringle, man of the match in the semi-final at home against Suburbs that we've mentioned a few times today. 2 wickets and runs with the bat as well. He hit a couple of massive sixes that day. These boundaries are nowhere near big enough for him. I don't think the trees before the road are big enough for him. So again, these kind of players that are still to come in for Parnell, they will still feel that they can post a competitive total here, but they do have to stop losing wickets. We're midway through the 12th over here. Parnell 77 for 5. A lot of hopes now lying on the man standing at the non-striker's end. Aniket Pereira, and a leading edge first ball from Ollie Pringle. It's gone all the way to the boundary, and has he saved it? It looks like he might have done. He has. That's a fantastic piece of fielding again. Takapuna have been red hot in the field today. They saved 5 or 6 runs definitely so far with their fielding.
That fielding effort down in front of the Pirates fan zone. A couple boys down there got the rigs out.
Not to worry, folks, the cameras are firmly set on the cricket. We will leave the rigs to the people in attendance. Speaking of people in attendance, we do have a growing crowd here at the Onewa Domain. If you are in the area, get yourselves down. It's going to be a cracking afternoon. The sun is out. The bar is open. And this Men's Premier 2020 Finals day. Worcester Bright to continue here from the pavilion end. It's been another fantastic over from him. He bangs that one in. Slight bottom edge on it from Ollie Pringle. Goes through to the keeper, comfortably landing short. He's looking to be positive though. A couple of big swings of the bat early from him.
A lot of intent from Pring to start off here. Perhaps again showing the nature of the wicket. Touch on the slow side. Wouldn't be surprised if Ross operates with some cross-seam balls, rolling his fingers over a few. So it's not that one pace sort of hitting, allowing the batsman to get a few away.
That one on the pads again from the Brat. Slight inside edge on it though, given his runs by the umpire. Ollie Pringle underway here in his innings then.
These sorts of club wickets can sometimes be tough to start on, so Wouldn't expect to see too many batsmen walk in and hit the ball from ball one. It does take a few overs to get your eye in. We saw how Finn was able to start timing the ball a little in his innings, and Aniket has started nicely, just tucking the ball into his gaps, waiting for the bad ball to put away.
Yeah, again, strong fielding in the ring from Takapuna. It's vital while they've got the away side on the ropes that they keep these singles down to a minimum, G. Midway through the 12th over here, Parnell 80 for 5. Graham mentioning earlier getting to the 12 over stage and looking to double their score. Potentially a bit ambitious, G, or do you think they could get to 160 from here?
I think they'll need something special here from the middle. Losing 5 wickets is not ideal at the halfway stage. But it does show that you are able to, there is a method here, you can score your runs.
4 runs and the wicket coming from the 12th over. Parnell Cricket Club currently 81 for 5. And another change in the commentary box as Graham Beggan is going off for a coffee, and it seems like nobody else at the Onewa Domain wants to join me, so we've been stitched up with Matt McEwen again. Matt, how are you enjoying this? How are you enjoying this game so far?
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been Taka have been on top, but like Graham just said, that if the big pring comes to town, there are no club grounds in Auckland, let alone international grounds around the world that could hold pring.
If anybody in this Parnell lineup could have a day and get them up to a big score, I think Ollie Pringle's got to be the man.
Yeah. Aniket Parikh, he'll keep feeding in the strike. He'll definitely get enough of that. And O'Donnell back in from the tennis court end and just worked into mid wicket, out to Max O'Dowd for 1. Yeah, Aniket can be a bit like Dan Vittoria in my eyes in terms of the way he bats. Hits the ball in awkward areas, very unconventional. Yeah, but Annie,
Daniel Vittoria, I think he'd thank you for that one.
oh,
I wouldn't mind being referred to as Daniel Vittoria.
yeah, maybe not on the bowling front at the moment, but then he comes again and drives back to O'Donnell, no run scored. Some beautiful fresh H2O inside, nice and cold, so went and filled up my bottle and with a bit of that.
And that's been flicked away off the pads. Is he going to be taken on the boundary? He is! A fantastic catch. Craig Kachopa showing all his experience. He has taken the ball over his shoulder on the rope, and just for added measure, might have been okay. Might not have needed to flick it back in, but he's flicked it back in to his fielding partner on the boundary.
And Max O'Dowd takes a comfortable little catch off Craig's underarm flick.
Another huge moment in this game, just as we've been saying how crucial he could be to this final. Ollie Pringle goes caught on the boundary. He'll feel unlucky. It's a very short boundary that way. He got a good bit of it, but he needed a little bit more height. Craig Kachopa, not the tallest man, but he takes a catch comfortably, flicks it back, as is the modern way we see so much during international and one-day cricket these days. Men catching the ball on the boundary, flicking it back into their fielding partners. Well, we've seen a special one today here, folks, at the Onewa Domain. Craig Kachopa back in for the big final. A big reward for the team to have him back, and he stepped up with a big moment.
Yeah, no. To be honest, Chopper, one of the nicest pair of hands you'll see going around. And yeah, recently engaged, so he's got a bit of a dusty knee at the moment. So I'm surprised he's fielding on the boundary, you know, wanting to protect those knees. But in comes Josh Fisher. The boys get paid. He spent a weekend away from club cricket this weekend. He's back in for the final. Spent a day at the Cracker Millions. Boys got paid. Got a big old W with one of the biggest bets ever placed on a racehorse, $197,000, and it came in.
Who?
Yeah, you heard right. The boys get paid. Yeah, it's a betting syndicate that I'm not part of, unfortunately.
Are you getting paid to promote this?
Oh.
And Will O'Donnell beats the outside edge. O'Donnell in again to Fisher.
Josh Fisher inevitably has had a fantastic
Time with the
season
ball.
so far. Ranked number 1 in the competition for leading wicket taker with 15, with a best of 5 for 17.
Yeah, 5 for 17 came against the Howick Pakuranga Alpacas at where was it? That was at
It was
yeah, round 7 at can't even remember their names.
Do you remember the?
Yeah,
do you remember the game?
I remember getting out to them. So yeah, I remember just started the rot, top of the order.
Was that the game? Correct me if I'm wrong. Where Howick got bowled out for 55 in about 5 minutes. Was that
very,
game?
very true. Yeah, no, it wasn't one of our finest performances, but you know we scraped through to a semi-final and then got beaten by Takapuna getting bowled out for 70 last week. So yeah, we haven't had a great time with the bat, but that's all good. Will O'Donnell was really rallying the troops here. You know, every time he seems to make a bowling change, he seems to get the result he wants, which is always good. And into Parikh.
13 overs gone here. Parnell 83 for 6. That single for Parikh taking him 84 for 6.
Parikh just, you know, beautiful top of the bounce out to cover point and gets
Must
that
be
one.
nice. You've got that shot, haven't you, Matt? That's one of your
Yeah,
opening
one of
batting
my
shots,
one of
yeah.
my opening batting shots. Yeah, slog over cow. No, it's been-
Anything else other than the slog over cow?
No, there's not much
That's
else.
about it.
Yeah,
Hey, at least you bowl.
correct. Yeah, Josh Fisher's probably in the same category as the Pring, in terms of, you know, there aren't many grounds when Fish gets going and he finds a little bit of rhythm. He's, you know, he's tough to control. But yeah, I think today could be a different day. He's got a little bit of time to bat instead of having, you know, 2 or 3 overs to just swing the willow. He's actually got to try and bring Parnell back into this. But like we said earlier in the call, whatever Parnell put on the board, they're not going to go down without a fight.
Absolutely not.
As you said, they've bowled out a few teams already this summer. So yeah, no, it's definitely going to be an entertaining game of cricket.
Yeah, we're very lucky down here at Takapuna Cricket Club today that we've got some seriously high-class cricketers on show. So if you're in the area, get on down, or if you're watching at home on the Auckland Cricket YouTube channel, drop us a comment in the live chat section. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know where you're watching. Who are you here to see? Which team do you think is going to win? And I want to know, what do you think the first inning score is going to be? What do you think Parnell could end up with? And do you think will it be enough? I'm going to make my prediction now for you. Currently midway through the 14th over, 85 for 6. I'm going to say 141, Matt McEwen.
141. I like that number.
Yeah, it just came to me.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Parikh on strike, and he's got the wrist for God, and he's just driven that down to Bird O'Donnell. It's always nice when you see the O'Donnells in tandem. You know, mid on, mid off, both O'Donnells. Yeah,
It's inspiring
Great fielders.
to all aspiring O'Donnells out there.
I'm sure Mark O'Donnell and Rihanna will be around here somewhere watching the two boys in action today. Former Aces coach. And Fish down the wicket and drives it out to deep cover. It's a really, really hot over there. Far off. 87 for 6 after 14. 6 overs to go. So you're saying we're going to have to go to about 10s to get to that sort of 140.
So what do we need from there? That's 141.
53.
53. I'm back in the... Yeah. Big finish here.
I like
Required.
it.
Yeah,
I like it because it would put a little bit of pressure on Takapuna and make it for a really interesting game. Whereas I think if they struggle to get to if they get to that 110, 120, I think Tak has just got that class about their batting lineup that they'll just go out with no fear and just come home with a very, very big save.
I think you're right. Having said that, semi-final they posted 132 all out from the final ball, and although they comfortably bowled Suburbs out for 86 in the end, Suburbs did not have a bad batting lineup. It might not be quite as strong as the tackle lineup we will see today, but if Parnell can post anything sort of 130 upwards, they will absolutely back themselves to...
Yeah, especially with Ben Horn behind the stumps. He's going to really make sure that the boys are in the right positions and really keep them all honest. And
we can see here throughout the competition they've defended 132, 128, 130 and 143. So the Parnell attack know how to defend a reasonably low score.
Yep.
Anything over the 140 mark at this stage would be a bonus for them.
Very true. And a few more cold wets are just being delivered around to the Takapuna pirate ship round in the far right-hand corner.
Not all heroes wear capes, man.
Not all heroes wear capes, very true.
Some of them don't even wear shoes.
They wear yellow budgies and no shirts. And drop the ice all over the outfield.
Matt Jones in again, top wicket taker in the comp. He's a very successful spin bowler. And that's a great piece of fielding there at short 45. So
Matt Jones now just 1 wicket behind Josh Fisher for the leading wicket taker in the competition. That would be a fantastic, if Takapuna are to go on and win this final, it will be fantastic if Matt Jones could nick in another 2 wickets and take the lead. That would put a stamp on a really successful competition for him and for his club. Takapuna, of course, knocking out the defending champions in emphatic style in the semi-finals. Beating Howick by 39 runs here at the Onewa Domain in the semi-final. And just as we say, another wicket goes down. Pereira playing all-rounder straight ball from Matty Jones. He's gone straight through him and he's cleaned him up. And that's another big wicket and a big blow to the Parnell hopefuls of making it up to 130, 140. The set man, Anik Pereira, he's been dismissed. Midway through the 15th over, Parnell now 88 for 7. 91 for 7. No, it wasn't. Nice hat, by the way.
and in comes Fanny de Villiers. Another big hitting all-rounder.
Big South African player, Fanny de Villiers. He's had a fantastic tournament as well. Very successful with the ball. He's taken 8 wickets with a best of 4 for 24 in this competition. Was very impressive in the semi-final. That 4 for 24 coming against Suburbs at Shaw Road, defending just 132. So he'll be in red hot form. Oh, and he's had his outside edge beaten. First ball, wicketkeeper whips the bails off. He seemed confident. Given not out by the square leg umpire, and that is the end of the 15th over. Parnell currently 91 for 7 going into the final 5 overs. Obviously having the pleasure of being joined by Aces superstar Matt McEwen next to me. Tell us about the fantastic events that happened during the Aces game yesterday.
Well, I guess we didn't get off to a very good start, but once we...
So just a little background on the game. Aces playing Canterbury away. Finished, was it 4
runs
defeated short by just 4 runs. Magnificent 101 of 78 balls by Ben Horn, who we've seen come and go today. Must have been a brilliant game.
Yeah, it was. Sensational game. Yeah, if I had to be brutally honest, we probably should have won the game. We just fell a couple of runs short. We sort of had a couple of mishaps in the sort of last, what would you say, 6 overs, which was a bit disappointing, but hey, that's how career goes, you know. That's the way it is, so yeah, no, we were good, but just weren't good enough on the day, and we'll come back again and fight again on Wednesday.
We'll have to move. Reverse cup, fingers pointing up, and he has been dismissed. Another big hitter for Parnell goes on this small ground, they will have been hoping for a much bigger total than this. And the next man in for Parnell, wearing number 27 on his back, is Nikith Pereira.
Boys will do a pre-match session squad.
92 for 8 now, Parnell are. They're in danger of being bowled out within their 20 overs. As mentioned before, Takapuna Cricket Club, 5 games in a row bowling out their opposite team, an unbelievable stat. They've taken 74 out of a potential 80 wickets leading up until this game, and they've taken a further 8 today, and they've still got 4.5 overs to bowl them out, Matt.
Yeah, as much as I'd love Parnell to bat here and get through to a big score, this bowling attack from Taka is pretty special, and I think, yeah, they're going to do well to not be bowled out here. Obviously looking to try and score as many runs as possible, but with only 2 wickets left in the bank, there's not a lot left in the hutch.
You have to say, Matt, home side, home advantage, losing the toss, being forced into the field, they have responded incredibly well in front of their home fans.
Definitely. It's definitely a wicket that will get slower as the day goes on. Obviously only a T20, but yeah, it will definitely get slower. I think it was used last week. And the paddling pool's come out. The boys from Taka have got the paddling pool out, which is always a good sign. It means that they're in for a good day. Big night at the club, I'm sure.
They're going to have to get the Taka bowling attack in that paddling pool because they are red hot right now.
Yeah, red hot. Ryan Quinn bowling some beautiful deliveries here. Looks like he's starting to get a little bit shaped back into the right-handers.
Really good. Blue skies and clear sun. Excellent swing bowling conditions, as you'll know, Matt. Beautiful.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah, Jimmy Anderson will be licking his lips with these bowling conditions here today.
Not a cloud in the sky
No.
to affect the swing, so it just swing conventionally.
Typical English conditions.
Correct.
Typical. And again, firing his Yorker again, fantastic skills. A couple absolutely nailed this over. That brings to the end the 16th over. Just the 4 runs coming from it, and the wicket of Fani de Villiers. The away side currently 95 for 8. Now going into the final 4 overs.
Okay. What do we got? Who are we finishing up with here? Matt Jones finishing his 4, finishing his quota. Sitting 1 just behind Fish now, so obviously looking to potentially pick up Fish to equal 15 wickets for the campaign. Handy wee left arm off spinner.
Just a reminder to those listening at home, if you don't like cricket related puns, I'd advise you to switch over now to something else. It's going to be a very long afternoon for you. As we say it, he goes straight through. Him. He takes his off stump back. Congratulations to Matt Jones. He is now equal leading wicket taker for the competition. Just look like a bit of a straight one, that, Matt.
Yeah, I think just that one, he just comes a little bit wider on the crease, gets that arm out nice and wide and slings it around and clip the top of the off stump. And that's the end of Nikith. He's going to have a big part to play in this game with the ball, so it's definitely not the last time we hear his name spoken today.
This has been a mighty impressive performance from the home side here, pulling off a fantastic victory in the semi-final against the defending champions, getting the home final, and now the away side 95 for 9, and the new man in for Parnell in at number 11, he's wearing number 8 on his back. It's Ganesh Ratnasabapathy.
That's impressive, because I had no clue what his last name was. That's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
I just call him the Rat Man.
Well, it's okay. If those of us who take this job seriously and professionally, we go for the full name.
Agreed. It's always good when you're in the commentary box. There's always phone chargers around, just in case your phone's running out of a bit of battery.
Are we boring you? Are we, Matt?
No, just if your phone's running out of a bit of battery, you can always throw it
95 for
in.
9. Not exciting enough for you, no?
Jones in again.
And he's got the leading edge. It's landed safe. I thought it was going to go straight back to him.
It's a very, very nice delivery. Nice. Took all the pace off the ball and making the batter actually have to hit the ball, which is always quite difficult when you're trying to score runs and you've got to make the play.
You'll probably back me up on this one, Matt. He will probably know how many wickets he's taken. He'll probably know he's leading. He's equal leading wicket taker here. He'll know that he needs one more to be top of the.
Yeah, one of the
top
biggest
of the
badges you'll see going around.
Really
loves a drink at the end of the day, and give you a little bit of jip on the field. But when that game's over, he's one of the nicest guys you'll see. So
that's exactly how the game should be played.
Oh, correct. This Taka team's always a bit like that. You know, they play hard on the field and they go pretty hard. But once that day's over, you know, win or lose, they'll drink a lot of their booze.
Fantastic. Nice use of rhyming there from the poet who didn't know it, Matt McCune.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a bit of rum drinking by these Pirates tonight. Win or lose as well.
As he
down
goes
the
big,
ground, and
Bert
O'Donnell won't get round in time, and they'll just get around for one.
Or a catch taken to bowl the team out right in front of the Parnell marquee would not have gone down well for the away side.
Yeah, the Rose Garden would have been throwing their thorns.
I'll tell you what, the Pimm's strawberries would have been going everywhere had that one carried to Robbie O'Donnell. But he's got away with it. It's landed short, and they're still looking to be positive here. Matty Jones, one more wicket to become the leading wicket taker in the tournament. And with I'll tell you, arriving today, seeing the short boundaries, the quick outfield, and how the pitch looked during our thorough pitch inspection, head over to Auckland Cricket Instagram to check that out. I didn't see 95 for 9 on the cards, Matt.
No, I didn't see 95 for 9. But in saying that, we have talked about how good Taka have been with the ball, and that's a sensational spell from Matt Jones.
Yeah, congratulations to Matt Jones. That's a wonderful spell for his team. He's put his team in a fantastic position here. Takapuna CC back in the final for the first time in a couple of seasons. They are red-hot favourites as we sit here right now. And another change in the commentary box. You will be delighted to know, listening wherever you are around the world, that Matt McEwen has been subbed out for scorers a shouted bowler's name, and Graham Beggan has stepped up to vastly increase the IQ level in the commentary box. Thank you very much for helping us out, Graham.
Yeah, no problem. All the good stuff's been happening on the field so far. Taka have put on a clinic with the ball. We'll see if there's any fight left in Josh Fisher and Ratnaz out there. They'll be keen to throw a few punches before this innings closes out. Perhaps taking a little bit of momentum, and Taka will be hoping to finish the job.
Yes, just starting the 18th over here. Parnell currently 98 for 9. Again, one more wicket for Takapuna, and that will be 6 games in a row that they have bowled out. And very well bowled to me in the commentary box. I've just picked up my 5th wicket of this innings. Commentator's curse. I couldn't have timed that any better. Straight through the number 11, Ganesh Ratnasabapati. And Takapuna Cricket Club have completed 6 in a row innings where they have bowled out their opposition. Graham Beggan, that is an astonishing stat.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the final, and putting this effort together against a strong Parnell team is credit to the Pirates here. They've put at least half a performance together. There's a lot of clapping and cheering going around from their supporters, and well justified. Everyone stepped up, solid fielding effort. There was just a great energy, and they certainly have set the standard here for the first half of this afternoon's game.
Absolutely. Having lost the toss and being asked to bowl first, I don't think the coach could have dreamed for much more. Parnell dismissed here at Onewa Domain for 98 after winning the toss and batting first. Stick around, we'll be back shortly for the second half of this Men's Premier 2020 final here at the home of Takapuna Cricket Club, the Onewa Domain. If you're in the area, head on down. There's a lovely crowd building. The sun is out and the bar is open. Come on down and watch some fantastic cricket. If you're watching live on the YouTube stream at Auckland Cricket, talk to us on the chat. Tell us where you are. Tell us how you think the game is going so far. Who do you think was a standout bowler in that Takapuna performance? And who do you think will be the top scorer in the second innings? Will Takapuna knock off 99 runs to win this final, or can Parnell pull a rabbit out of the hat and keep them down and win their first Men's Premier 2020 competition for several seasons? This is going to be a classic. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you very shortly. Welcome back to the second half of this Men's Premier T20 final. Takapuna out in the middle, ready to chase down 99 for victory here on their home turf. My name's Elliot Corwell here in association with Auckland Cricket. Delighted to say I'm joined alongside me by Aces star Graham Beggin. Ollie Pringle taking the new ball from the tennis court end. He's had a fantastic season. And Parnell are going to have to get off to a great start here, G.
Absolutely, this first power play is going to be massive. Looking for wickets, peg back the Taka after a strong start in the first half of today. The Parnell team have done a job all season with the ball, so they won't go away. Got some experience behind the stumps with Ben Horn, and of course their trio of fast bowlers have been exceptional. Having said that, this opening pair for Taka have done a job too.
Absolutely. Max O'Dowd facing the first ball here, easily recognisable with his long hair. He's had a great tournament as well. And a beautiful drive there. What a way to get off the mark for Max and for Taka. You can hear the crowd behind us going wild. They smell victory here. Yet to win this Men's Premier 2020 competition, Takapuna Cricket Club, and they're not going to get much of a better opportunity here on their home ground. Max O'Dowd has got them off to a fantastic start.
Of course, finalists last year at Eden Park, losing out to Howard Pakuranga. Some say you've got to lose one to win one, and they've given themselves a real chance here today.
And he goes again. Max O'Dowd does not even move for that one. Finds the gap beautifully. Short boundary square here at the Onewa Domain. He'll know that very well, this being his home ground. And Ollie Pringle starting wayward.
A little bit of width, allowing Max to throw his hands through that one. With a score like this, both batsmen will go out and be positive. Look to really show some intent, put this game away early.
Absolutely. Do not think that the Parnell boys will take this lying down, though. They will be right up for this. We've got two men allowed outside the ring, obviously, in the first 6 overs. We've got a man down here right in front of us at third man and a man out at deep square leg. We had a slip in for the first couple of balls, but he's been removed after those back-to-back boundaries from Max O'Dowd. They're going to need early wickets here. They're going to have to do the same as Parnell are going to have to do the same as Taka did to them. Early wickets, obviously Parnell losing 3 wickets in the first 3.5 overs of their innings. They'll be looking for the same when it comes to their innings. Swatted away by O'Dowd there. You can see how short the square boundaries are. A sprinted single all the way up to the boundary.
Already a slightly different approach in this first innings. Taka choosing to open with spin. and that featured heavily throughout the innings. Here Parnell have gone with Ollie, who's bowling the first over into the wind, and coming up now the first ball to Will O'Donnell.
Both these two opening pairs for Takapuna have had a fantastic tournament as an opening partnership. Yeah, as an opening partnership, Will O'Donnell and Max O'Dowd have seen 2 games in the group stage, 10-wicket wins, knocking off 50 in just 3.5 overs against Birkenhead, chasing down 48 for the victory there, and putting away 123 for naught against Kumeu in round 4 in just 9.4 overs there. Will O'Donnell top scoring with 70 not out from just 30 balls in that game. So these two will know each other well. They'll know exactly what's required here on their home ground to chase down a small total of 99 for their first ever Men's Premier 2020 final. End of the first over. It's 9 for no loss.
Second over, about to be bowled by Ganesh Ratnaz. He operates from wide of the crease. Bit of an angle into the batsman. Parnell needing wickets up front. They haven't chosen to go with a slip, perhaps thinking the wicket's a little bit slower, opting to have the extra catcher and cover in front of the wicket. Having a third man in a deep square field at the moment in this power play.
Should not fancy his full name there, G. I'm going to challenge you to say his full name at some point in today's game. In comes Ganesh Ratnasabapathy to continue from the pavilion end. Max O'Dowd steering that one down the third man. He'll push him for 2, and there's been a fumble. Not the start Parnell would have been looking for this game, for this innings rather. Only 99 to defend. They need to be red hot in the field. They need to pick up early wickets. And 11 runs from the first 9 balls of this innings is not what they'd have been after. Brad Rodden needs to keep his men calm here. He knows that a couple of early wickets could just about see them still in this. But they've got an awfully big mountain to climb as Ratnasabapathy comes in again. Short and wide, that's been cut away. Well fielded a backward point. That's more like it. That's the standard the Parnell fans behind them over there by the Rose Garden will be looking for. They're going to need to show some fight here, the Peaches. Well, if any bowling attack can do it, it certainly is the Parnell attack. Comes in again, that one flayed away, and he's hit it straight at cover. And he's been taken. Max O'Dowd, looking so good early in this innings, has put that one on the up again, but he's hit it straight at extra cover. A low catch taken around his ankle height, nice and comfortable. And everyone's losing their heads. Even the man running the drinks out has dropped his phone on the outfield. And a big breakthrough early.
The ball was pitched up. Max O'Dowd had a right to throw his hands at it. As we said, some tactics there from Brad Rodden, opting to go with the extra catch in front of the wicket rather than a slip, and it's paid off here with the wicket of the Dutch international. And with that wicket, we see Ben Beecroft walking to the crease, also someone who looks to go hard in the power play, hits over the top. He'll go hard after anything pitched up here.
So Ratnasabapathy picking up the first wicket for Parnell. Just as we're talking about how they need to pick up early wickets if they're going to have any sniff of staying in this final, they get one. I think that could be my 6th wicket today, commentator's curse. Fantastic performance by me. I'm sure I'll interview myself after the game for a man of the match performance, but another 2 or 3 in the power play, and Parnell might just feel they're still in this, G.
It's finals cricket, anything can happen.
Anything. Runs on the board, even if it's not as many as they would have liked, is still going to bring pressure. Home crowd, home pitch, all the advantages should be with Taka. However, they're 1 down early. Midway through the second over here, the home side are 11 for 1.
This is a seam attack that's had a lot of success throughout this campaign, taking wickets in the power play. putting opposition batting orders under pressure.
And you can just see, since the fall of that wicket, just a little bit of an uplift from the Peaches fielders. That's the first one. They've got the first hurdle out of the way. They've taken the big wicket of Max O'Dowd nice and early. They'll look to build on from this. They will be right up on it. The chirp is loud. There's another man dropping back there. Fine leg going back onto the rope. We've got a deep square leg as well. It's all Ollie Pringle out there.
Of course, if you are listening today, you can follow the ball by ball score on the Auckland Cricket app. You can also run through the first innings. The scorecard tells a pretty clear story. A lot of wickets, not a few starts, not a lot of individual guys apart from Flynn McGregor Sumter getting runs, and of course exceptional bowling all round from the Takapuna team.
And if you're watching online on the YouTube at Auckland Cricket, use the live chat. Let us know what you're thinking of the game. Let us know who you think has been the MVP of this game so far. Have Parnell got it in them to defend this total, or
attack? Right on, quick bowler.
Now, as we stand, Josh Fisher is currently leading wicket taker for the tournament. Matt Jones, of course, equaling him with 15 wickets in the Parnell batting innings. So Jones and Fisher, one from each team here in the finals, leading wicket taker. And if Parnell are going to win, they're going to need Fisher to overtake and retain his top spot on the leading wicket taker board. He started well, starts with a nice dot ball. And he comes again from the tennis court's end. It's just drifted onto the pads. That's been tucked away for a nice, comfortable single.
Fisher, similar to Dan James, and he'll pitch the ball up, look to bowl full length, give the ball a chance to swing, and keep the batsman playing, which is why he's been so effective this season, attacking the stumps, being positive with the ball, and as you say, he's got a big job here.
Absolutely. Pitch looking a little bit slow today, and we're running into the wind. Could be helping with his cutters, balls stopping on the batsman a little bit. Could be looking at some leading edges coming into play. As we call it. Oh, is that my seventh? No. We're bold. Just as we call it, a leading edge. Well, that's managed to clear the infield. The benefit of big bats these days. 20, 30 years ago, that might have gone straight to cover, but it's cleared him today.
That slow nature of the pitch probably reflected in the field set at the moment, with a deep four to square and cover sweeper, third man fine leg up. Will O'Donnell able to access that gap to the cover sweeper. Both batsmen will be probably looking for the bowler to over pitch and use the wind to hit down the ground. Risk reward option being played out there, and whichever day it is will be the one that comes out on top.
Yeah, we saw it a couple of times in the Parnell innings. Ben Horn hitting a big six down the ground. Brad Rodden, the captain, taking 2 sixes down the ground as well, using the strong breeze going with the batsman towards the tennis court end here at the Onewa Domain. And these batsmen will know that. They're home ground, they'll know the conditions well. Only 99 to chase. They'll know they've got a bit of time to pick their deliveries to go after. They don't have to do anything too silly right now. Run rate, of course, does not play a factor in the final. Doesn't matter how long it takes them to get the runs. They will need to make sure that they get over the line here. This is as good an opportunity as they will ever get to win their first Men's Premier 2020 Championship. And that brings to the end the third over. A great start from Fisher. He's gone for just 3 from his first over. It's 16 for 1.
I'm sure that information, what was easier to hit, what was more challenging, would have been shared in the dressing room, and the bowlers will come up with a plan. Slight adjustment for the Parnell bowlers who have used the short ball at home on their bigger field, slightly smaller field here, so they'll have to adjust and they'll really test their skill set to the Takapuna batsmen who are strong at home and have been all season. Fended into the offside behind point. Maybe a little miscommunication between the point fielder and third man running in allows Will O'Donnell to get back for 2. And this ability to rotate strike in the power play, as important as that ball striking.
I'll tell you what I've just seen there, G, which the cricket coach inside me has not enjoyed, is Will O'Donnell turning the wrong way, coming back for 2. Absolute suicide cricket. Here at the Onewa Domain, we teach our under-9s to turn the way of the ball, so you can see what's going on. Ratna Sabapati continuing here from the pavilion end. Calls him through for another quick single, hit the stumps, and he's missed. Well backed up. As Graham mentioning there, rotating the strike, absolutely crucial.
Yeah, a few ways the batsman can go about this. Someone can take the game on here in the power play and really blow it out the water. You know, if you get 50 in that power play, it's really tough to defend. Or else you can show a bit of composure and look to just, get there with good singles and rotating strike, waiting for the odd bad ball.
Well, I think that's along the lines of what you were just saying in the previous over, where some teams do come out in the power play and go gun-ho and try and get 50-60, try and go at 10 and over in the first power play. But on a day like this where so much is on the line, if they come out and go gun-ho and lose 3 or 4 wickets for 30 runs, they're putting their team under pressure. I think Takapuna will be going at this a little bit more conservatively. We can see that so far. A lot of singles being taken so far. The Parnell attack, as we call that, he's been lofted down the ground over long on. It's landed just inside the rope. But a glorious strike. I'm sure that would have looked elegant on the live stream camera behind where we are. Beautiful cricket shot. Just a length ball, and he's helped himself straight back over the ground. If the wind wasn't so strong, it might have just cleared the rope for 6, but it's landed just inside for a 1-bounce 4.
Ratnaz over pitching there, going at the stumps. Will O'Donnell was up for it, held his shape, hit back down the ground, and got reward.
And again called through for another very good single. An immediate call of yes there, comfortably through. And the old coach's favourite, a boundary and then a single. Swatted away into the offside for a dot ball. That brings to the end the 4th over. 9 runs coming from that one. Takapuna well on top here, 25 for 1.
Of course, one of the elements of today's game is the involvement of Aces players returning to this finals fixture. Parnell welcoming Ben Horn back into the team, while Takapuna have welcomed back Will O'Donnell, who opened the batting for the Aces yesterday in a close game against Canterbury. Craig Kachopa, the Aces captain, and Robbie O'Donnell. So 3 players coming into the Taka side. Of course, Parnell missing a number of players, and Mark Chapman, who's with the Ace side, Lockie Ferguson and Will Somerville, who are out injury, and Corey Anderson, who's overseas. A real feature of this power play so far has been the ability for the Takapuna batsmen to rotate strike, letting the ball come on a wicket that might be a little slow. That's a feature of good batting, not going too hard at it and waiting for the ball that's there, either a bit of width or the ball being over pitched to put away.
Yeah, very impressive to see so many singles taken in the power play on such a small ground. Wonderful start from the Takapuna pair here, and he's gone down the ground there. That's wonderful batting. Listen to the crowd here behind us. They've loved that. Straight back over his head from Ben Beecroft. He's enjoyed that one. He turned away straight away. Knew he'd got it over Ollie Pringle, which is no mean feat. He's a tall man. And another boundary. The Pirates steaming along here. They can smell victory. They are tasting victory. They've got their home fans behind them. A nice crowd building here at the Onewa Domain for this final. Here to watch their home side bring in their first ever 2020 finals championship.
Ben Horn making the change, getting the lid on, getting up to the stumps, making sure the batsman stays in his crease. Fisher still just bowling a good line and length. It was a good cricket shot by Ben Beecroft, hitting through the line of the ball, using the wind to get it up and over the inner ring.
Yeah, as mentioned, picking their options wisely, waiting for the right times to be aggressive. They've got that luxury with a smaller total on the board chasing. Hitting with the wind, man up in the ring, safe option.
Good piece of cricket. And I think with that, that's resulted in a fielding change with cover sweeper coming up into the ring. Mid-on dropping back to the fence, keeping the deep forward square in play. Brad Rodden here will be hoping Takapuna batsmen make mistakes, but if not, he's going to have to get a little bit creative, find a way to keep taking wickets and really take some shots at this game. Otherwise, it will just get away from them, and at some point it will be too far.
And again, we see a big drive on the up, exactly the same way as opener Max O'Dowd goes. He's timed it well, a big on the up cover drive, but he's hit it straight at extra. And another wicket goes down. Ben Beecroft goes.
Looked like a back of the hand slower ball, that. Confirmed by the batsman, who's just indicating. Beaten him in flight, change of pace, and has got him to hit the ball on the up, and a well taken catch in the covers. Another very important wicket.
A little more emphasis, as if we need more of how slow this pitch is. A little bit stoppy. Yeah, as Graham just said there, we can see Ben Beecroft walking off, showing the new batsman coming in. It was a slower ball, to watch out for it. Talking of the new man, he's got 25 on his back. It's Mike Schlanders. He has had a magnificent competition so far with bat and ball. 12 wickets with the ball, 13 wickets now, correction, with the ball, and 159 runs in this competition. A best of 73 not out in the semi-final against Howick Pakuranga, the defending champions. He's gone at an average of just under 40 this season. New to the team at the end of last year. He's a very exciting prospect. And if he gets going here, this could be an early bath for the Parnell bowling attack. He is an extremely exciting batsman. He's a young man, he's only 20, I think he might be 20 years old, maybe 21. 19 apparently, Mike Schlanders, fantastic.
He's 21. Into the attack now, Fani de Villiers to bowl the 6th over of this power play. A wicket here makes things interesting.
Absolutely. So we see at the end of their power play, Parnell 36 for 3, run a ball but losing 3 wickets. The Taka attack aren't too far behind, 30 for 2 here at the start of the 6th over. I think the crucial thing for the home side is going to have to be wickets in hand, G.
Absolutely, they do have the benefit of Craig Kachopa and Robbie O'Donnell. They're aces players to come in the middle, so a lot of experience there. But if Will O'Donnell and Sliders can really put a dent into this attack, that'll go a long way to securing the win. We still haven't seen any spin in this power play, obviously a big feature in that first innings, but the Seamers have found a way to take 2 wickets and they'll be looking for their 3rd now.
So from a coach's or a captain's perspective here, if we're looking at Parnell, seeing the way that how effective the spin was in the Takapuna bowling innings, would you be tempted as a Parnell captain or a coach?
They're big boundaries where already today we've seen them pitch the ball up, use their slow ball, have catches in the ring to try to take that chance. So it does, they do have Nakeith Pereira, who played a great hand in the semi-final victory. So he's still got to come in, and in the right conditions, if he's got runs to work with, that might be a big portion of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned it there about having runs to work with. That's a lovely cricket shot. Nice straight back punch down the ground, just be a single. You mentioned there about bowlers coming in, having an impact on the game, but they're going to have to get those strike bowlers in before too long, or the game's going to be gone before they have an opportunity to influence it.
Absolutely. But again, Rodden has a lot of experience, so he won't be panicking. He knows there's a lot of time left in this game, and things can happen very quickly in a final. So it'll be a bit of a sparring game through this power play, making sure it doesn't get away from them. But at 30 odd for 2, they'll still feel like they've got a chance, and with Aniket and Nakeith to come, spin will play a big role.
Absolutely. Well, if any bowling attack will feel confident that they can defend 98 for a national championship, it will be for the title here. It will be Parnell. Wonderfully successful season with ball in hand. It's been an interesting start so far. 35 for 2 here, just coming up to the end of the first power play. Nicely bowled from Fani de Villiers. Very good over from him so far. Very even in terms of runs and wickets as we stand. The away side 36 for 3 at the end of their first power play, at the end of 6 overs. The home side Takapuna are currently sitting 35 for 2 with one more ball coming in their power play. You really can't separate these sides. Just 6 runs have separated how many runs both of these teams have scored across the entire competition before today's game, and just a 1 wicket between them as well. So it really is a match-up from heaven.
Also, often a slightly lower scoring final brings in a really exciting game because it becomes very close. Teams compete for every ball. There's obviously that anticipation pressure that comes with finals cricket, and already what was quite a bubbly crowd in the first, after that first innings, have settled down and are watching quite intently.
They're getting into it for sure. And that single brings to the end the first power play here for the home side, chasing 99 for their first ever Men's Premier 2020 finals victory. They are 36 for 2. Exactly the same runs as the away side Parnell were at the end of their first power play, but they had 1 further wicket lost. 36 for 3 Parnell were after 6. Home side Takapuna are 36 for 2. I'm somewhat delighted to say that Graham Beggin has exited the commentary box, and I'm joined again by Matt McEwen.
Afternoon, mate.
Hello, mate.
Just a quick shout out to Simon Inslee, former Auckland Cricket high performance manager, watching from aboard a plane flying from Adelaide to Hobart after a sensational victory by the Hobart Hurricanes.
Oh, they beat,
last night.
No. That wasn't said. They beat my team of the strikers and they battered us, and that's not good. No.
A sensational 100 by Matty Wade. Some serious ball striking. Anyway, back to the cricket.
Yeah. Heads up to the strikers for the next game. I'm backing them all the way. Sliced away, nicely fielded at backward point.
Aniket Parika backward point there. Also known as Cruskets. Probably has the most fragile fingers floating around club cricket. Unfortunately, he's had a few issues with his fingers, but it's good to see him back out on the paddock.
I'm sure you've probably figured out now, ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 very different levels to this commentary performance today. We've got the serious, professional nature of Graham Beggin and whatever the hell Matt McEwen appears to be bringing to the booth.
Beautiful balancing act, I believe. Will O'Donnell's making this look pretty comfortable at the moment. He's obviously the big wicket in this partnership, or actually in this Taka side. Obviously, brother Robbie and then Craig Kachoba to come in, but yeah, I think he's just going to go about it and just take it quite deep and then be, just clinical towards the end, I think.
The Takapuna batting lineup is an absolute A-list of experience today. As we mentioned, Aces skipper Craig Kachopa yet to come, took a fantastic catch on a boundary earlier. Robbie O'Donnell, the Aces 4-day captain, he'll be in soon. Will O'Donnell as well, opened for the Aces yesterday.
Good lovely start.
Mike Schlanders on strike here, young South African player. He's been lighting up the season. Nikith Pereira here bowling from the tennis court end, mixing his pace up nicely, bowling a little bit slower than left armer Matty Jones for when Takapuna were bowling.
It's been a very, very good over. High class that, just gets cut out to backward point to Ben Ray, who just cleans it up for one, and I think spin's going to play a big, big part of this game.
I think you're right, Matt. The pitch definitely slowing up. We've seen it from that last dismissal of Ben Beecroft. The back of the hand, slower ball on the up. Timed it nicely, but straight to the man at extra cover. Both dismissals so far going that way, with Matt O'Dowd going caught at extra cover as well. Although Parnell seem very confident in their pace bowling attack, with Fani de Villiers going to continue here from the pavilion end. I think pace off the ball, like you mentioned, cutters, slower ball bumpers, I think that's going to be the way that Parnell have got to try and attack this tackle lineup.
Definitely. I think it's going to be that one over. One over is going to make the difference. The over that goes for, 1, 2 or 2 wickets. And then that one over that from Taka that goes for 20 and pretty much ices the game in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Just a quick update for anyone watching out there that's watching this instead of watching the New Zealand Women's play. New Zealand women were bowled out for 115 and now South Africa 53 for 1 after 12.5 overs. So 63 required off the 37 overs. So it looks like it could be quite a comfortable victory.
No, I'm back in the White Ferns, back in the girls. Of course, few members of the Auckland Hearts team having the honour of representing their country against South Africa for the White Ferns, the likes of Lauren Down, Katie Perkins, Holly Huddleston, and the unfortunately injured Anna Peterson.
Yeah, I was talking to Anna this morning. She's not in too great a shape, which is no good.
No, she's strained her back fairly badly, not taking part in the previous game or today's game. A big miss for the White Ferns, but we wish her a speedy recovery, and hopefully she can take part in the rest of the series as Fani de Villiers to continue here. Nicely worked away by Schlanders. A quick single, and that is out.
Great piece of fielding. Annika Parikh, the Cruskets of all Cruskets. Great piece of fielding at backward point. Pops up beautifully and throws down the stumps to get rid of O'Donnell.
The Parnell fielders are literally jumping for joy. That is a huge moment. Was it necessary? Mike Schlanders calling him through for a quick single. I'm not sure Will O'Donnell wanted to take it. He'd given up on it. He didn't even attempt to slide his bat. And he is run out by an absolute mile. A gun bit of fielding at backward point. And all of a sudden, the home side, who are looking so comfortable, find themselves 39 for 3. Correction, 40 for 3.
It's great to have a little bit of input from the sky. Simon Inslee just throwing in, the little pieces of update and sending in some beautiful pieces of work from aboard the plane. It's always nice when you can watch cricket while on a plane.
What a bit of commitment that is.
Currently flying over Mount Shang Conservation Park on his way home. And thank you for your input there, Simon.
You just don't get entertainment like this anywhere, folks. I reckon we could have charged people to listen to this.
That's true.
Just world class.
This is a really good over from Fani. If he can pick up another pole here, that really brings Parnell back into the game. That run out, I don't know if it was worthwhile in terms of for that one run.
was that appropriate at this stage of the innings for the home side? They were cruising, they were well on their way. Will O'Donnell was looking good, he was looking settled. And a big moment now for Mike Schlanders, a young batter, reasonably new to the team. I know he's had this whole season with them, but big pressure final. He's run out the captain. He's now got to keep himself under control. He's got to stay calm, and he knows that his team will need him to bat for a long time here.
Yeah, it's probably quite nice having Craig Kachopa come to the wicket after something like that. Craig obviously will take a lot of leadership on his shoulders, being the Aces captain and a real tacker man. So, you know, he'll look to just get himself set, and very, very powerful young man. Obviously a low centre of gravity, not being the tallest human on this planet Earth.
Days ago in the grand final, spilt my drink everywhere.
Is that your hands or his catch?
Probably my hands, to be honest. It's just been an incredibly successful season for me personally.
In terms of breaking glasses? Or?
Just holding on to things in general, I think. In comes De Villiers again. It's been a good spell from him. Short and wide, that's just been
patted.
Magisterially patted down to third man for another single. And that brings to the end the 8th over. Home side 41 for 3. So, a question to my commentating counterpart here. Who are you going for, Matt? 41 for 3 after 8 overs. We've got 12 overs left. I highly doubt we'll be going all the way through to the end of the 20 overs, but
yeah, I just
runs
feel
on the board?
Yeah,
or who are you backing?
I'm backing Tacker at the moment.
Backing
just with the ability they have with the bat. Kachopa, O'Donnell, Schlanders, who's gone well this season. And they've got some power in the shed. In saying that, I feel that Parnell need to bowl Tacker out to win this.
Absolutely. Well,
so it's not going the distance.
If any team can do it, Parnell, the leading wicket takers in the competition, will certainly have the best opportunity to do so. I'm a big fan of a fairy tale story, Maddie. I can't pretend it wouldn't give me chills to see Parnell come back here and roll Tacker on their home ground and to take home the title. Both of these sides have been waiting for a 2020 championship for several years. Takapuna, of course, not won one yet. Parnell have won one, but haven't been in the final for a good few seasons now. This will mean an awful lot to both teams, and we can see around us in the Onewa Domain there's a good crowd building here directly across from us, around about wide long on from where the camera angle is sitting, where you will be watching back home, is the progression of Parnell fans under their big marquee.
Yeah, and just the slight garden. Left there is the Rose Garden. I called it the Rose Garden earlier, but I've been told it's the Rose Garden. This could be another run out, and that's
and it is. He's
and
given.
There he is. That is a great piece of fielding. De Villiers and B. Horn run out Kachopa. It's a great piece of fielding.
My word. I can't believe what I've just seen. Aces captain Craig Kachopa has been run out in the final. Mike Schlanders in a run-out mix-up for the second time in 3 overs, and all of a sudden the home side, who were cruising so comfortably, find themselves 4 down, and we're not even halfway there yet. There.
And here comes Robbie O'Donnell to the crease.
Again, we keep saying this, a list of experience for the Takapuna lineup. Craig Kachopa, Robbie O'Donnell, Will O'Donnell. 2 of them have gone. 4 wickets down now. Just 41 runs on the board.
Just also nice to have, you know, international players just coming down to watch club cricket. It's always nice to have Lockie Ferguson just hanging out behind us today. He's obviously just gone to get a cold water.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get him over and have a little chat with us on the commentary box when he comes back.
It's getting warmer by the minute out here.
It's beautiful. Fabulous day.
Not just on the field, but also from the sky.
And the prize for the worst chat of the year goes to Matt McEwen. I think that's an automatic delegation from Commentary Box for you for the next 5 years. Fantastic. Brilliant.
Great to be back. We're just having a slight disagreement about my commentary call there.
Viewers, you'll be happy to know Matt McEwen has issued a full apology to everybody in attendance here for possibly the worst line I've ever heard in my entire life. Anyway, continuing with a very exciting cricket game that's going on, glossing over Matt McEwen's inability to speak English. 9 overs gone here at the Onewa Domain. Just the 1 run and the wicket coming from the 9th over. Home side Takapuna currently 42 for 4, still requiring another 57 runs from the final 11 overs. It doesn't sound like a lot, but
No.
4 wickets down in a grand final. Could this game somehow be leaning towards away side Parnell?
Yeah, it's definitely going that way. Nakeith obviously bowled his 2 overs for only 4 runs at the moment and created those 2 run-outs off his bowling. So it's been a hellish piece of work.
It's just not going the way that Takapuna would have wanted this to. They had a decent start, 36 for 2 throughout their power play, but just 6 runs and 2 wickets coming from the last 3 overs. Parnell are giving this the best go possible. This would be an unbelievable comeback if they could pull it off. Tucked away into the leg side for another single there.
Wow, there's been some interesting throws coming from the boundary today. Obviously, it's not the biggest ground on earth, but
That's like a
that
20
is a 20-metre throw, and it absolutely pegged it in and almost taken Ben Horn's head off. Really need to look at the height of the throw. If not, we're going to go for the bounce throw and bounce it over his head next time.
Oh, if this game couldn't get more exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're easing our way towards squeaky bum time for Takapuna here. They will be nervous. Mark our words. You can see them sitting sort of behind us here. They were a lot more jovial 15-20 minutes ago. Seems like there's a little bit more concentration in their camp now. And as we mentioned before, Mike Schlanders, of course, still out there, young lad. We were saying at the run out of Captain Will O'Donnell that he's going to have to keep a cool head and make sure that he stays out there and sees his team over the line. He's now run out not only his club captain, but also the Aces captain, Craig Kachopa. So big pressure now on Schlanders, the man in to, and another chance for a run out.
And we've almost had another run out.
And I fear to say that probably would have been out with a hit. Schlanders dropping his bat, trying to get back into his crease. I reckon that might have been out with a hit, mate.
It definitely looked tight.
Oh, that would
and
be
it's
carnage.
gonna really create squeaky bum time if another wicket falls here.
That would have been card. Schlanders to run out 2 senior players and then run himself out would not have been a day he would look back on fondly, but he's still there. Fani de Villiers coming in here from the pavilion end still. Everything being thrown at Schlanders' end here. They know they've got Taka under the pump here, Parnell. They're putting up a fantastic fight of this. Certainly can't doubt their team spirit and togetherness. They defended 132 in the semi-final comfortably against an excellent suburbs side, and they're putting together a fantastic effort of defending just 98 here at the Onewa Domain, home of Takapuna Cricket Club. Parnell, of course, winning the toss and choosing to bat, would not have been overly happy with the score they posted.
That is a lovely cricket shot from Robbie O'Donnell. Just back of a length, and Robbie O does not miss out on anything short, and he's pulled it beautifully in front of square.
And I tell you what,
For a glorious boundary.
that's woken the crowd up a little bit as well. That's really feel like that's broken the shackles of the last 3 or 4 overs. Fani de Villiers, yeah, banging that one in. As we've seen on today's game, though, the pitch just not as quick as we've seen.
We've got a bit of an injury here.
We do. We've got a player coming off here, wringing his hand.
Andy Lane.
Andy
Looks
Lane.
like he potentially has got a finger on that, and maybe we just dislocation. So it looks like we may potentially have a wee dislocation there. Andy Lane's obviously putting a great effort from the field there. And yeah, he's off for a wee hike across the paddock to see his mother, who is a nurse, who's going to hopefully sort that out for him. Yeah, disappeared into the trees and into the cars. And
Not to say, mate, if you get injured, get your mum to kiss it better.
yeah,
Beautiful. If she's a nurse, even better. Slightly banged in again. They've gone for another quick single. And that's
there
better
she
running.
is, over in the far side. She's just come out of the rosé garden, so hopefully she's in a fit state to sort that one out.
I would not like a woman to pop my finger back into place after a few glasses of rosé. That
She
potential
said,
for
"Don't look at me,
disaster."
son," and it looks like it's very painful.
Maddie, I've been there myself on a couple of occasions. Dislocated fingers, popping them back in. It's not pleasant. Somewhere where horrific pinky finger. Yeah, somewhere where you just got to grit your teeth and get on with it. But if done correctly, they're
Bounced.
winning target.
Nikita's bowling some beautiful deliveries here. That's
Yeah.
really turned and hit Ben Horn on the top of the right shoulder.
Yeah, this is a fantastic spell. This really is. He's the one that's been dragging his team back into this game, and the fielders have stepped up as well. 2 direct hit runouts coming off the bowling of Pereira. He's got a fantastic length there. You can see if Taka were chasing something a little bit bigger in terms of a total, if they were looking at chasing 180, 190, then Pereira would have to be targeted by the batsman. This kind of bowling, slightly back of a leg, slightly flighted, slightly slower than we've seen throughout spinners today.
It's really great to see the guys in the ring really hunting the ones and trying to just create that little bit of uncertainty.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Brad Rodden doing a great job there as skipper at mid-wicket.
Absolutely. And they've only got as we said, we've only got a small target on the board. Every run is crucial. I mean, we saw it with Taka in the field. They were very good. Some very good pieces of infielding and boundary work. Probably saved between 5 to 10 runs in the field, and right now 5 to 10 runs is looking crucial.
Yeah, very crucial.
Ollie Pringle sweeping up there, down at long off. Interesting to see.
One left in the over.
One left in the over.
And only one coming from it, so it's been a sensational over this one.
49 for 4 here, the home side. That one dragged slightly short and swung away, but there's a man out at deep mid wicket. But that single will bring up the 50 for the home side Takapuna. They are over halfway in this run chase. Another 49 runs required from the final 9 overs here at the Onewa Domain for the home side to take home their first ever Men's Premier 2020 Finals Championship. But they're not doing it the easy way. They have limped their way to 50 for 4. Just 2 runs coming from the 11th. Another fantastic over from Pereira.
And the man himself, Anika Parikh into the attack. Another spinner, so just a little bit slow, heading into the breeze.
Hitting into the breeze is
Could be easier or harder. I just don't really know in terms of the ball dropping, ball coming onto the bat a little easier, with it not holding in the wind a little bit. So potentially going to come onto the bat a little bit easier.
I think with from a batter's perspective, if he's looking to go big with the ball being in the air longer when trying to hit it rather than bowl it, I think the wind will play more of a factor in holding the ball up in the air for a fielder to catch it rather than coming onto the bat slightly faster. It definitely will play an impact, but he's coming on for his first bowl. He'll be looking to back up his spin twin, Nikita Pereira, from the other end. Very important to bowl in partnerships, especially in 2020 cricket. Pereira going for just 6 runs in his 3 overs, including a big wicket, and he started very nicely. Aniket Parikh wearing number 25 on his back. As I said, starting very well. If the batters are going to look to dominate him, they will be hitting into the wind, as Matt McEwen has just said. Man out at long on and long off. We've got a deep mid-wicket, a deep square leg, and a man out on the cover sweeper, who's going to be in the game now. Another single, 51 for 4. 48 required now for the victory for the home side. But they won't want this to go too deep in the innings. They won't want to be getting towards the 19th and the 20th over.
Totally agree with you there.
Yeah.
I genuinely think Robbie O'Donnell's going to try and take him down here a little
And we
bit.
see a reverse
Reverse
sweep.
sweep, and it just spun away from Ben Ray and racing down the hill towards the tennis courts, and they'll only get settled for 2.
A risky option, but it's paid off for him. He's picked up 2.
Yeah, I'd say it's risky, but for Rob, it's probably one of his go-to shots. He went to it yesterday. Unfortunately, he did get bowled by it, but he had gone to it multiple times in the T20 campaign. And
It's one of those, isn't it? If you back yourself on the shot.
that's it.
Oh, has he been given? He has. He has. Ben Horn takes the catch. Aniket Parikh picks up another crucial wicket. And another key man in this Takapuna batting lineup has been dismissed. We just heard it here behind me. Game on, very much so, here at the Onewa Domain. The home side chasing just 99 for victory now find themselves 5 down.
Key wrecked. Just a wee injury update. I can't see Andy Lane.
Andy Lane.
But we'll keep an eye out for him, and hopefully he's all right over there.
Super catch taken behind the stumps there by Ben Horn. And we're just talking there about Aniket Parikh needing to back up his spin partner, Nikith Pereira, and he's certainly done that. He's picked up a crucial wicket. All the aces now dismissed for Takapuna, and they've all gone pretty cheaply. Still another 46 runs required from 7.5 overs. And I'll tell you what, the ball very much back in Parnell's court.
Totally agree, and just actually received a message from one of the Parnell Peaches stalwarts, Mark Chapman. Congratulations on your 100 yesterday, Mark, and yeah, just said up the peach. So hopefully, for Mark's case, the Peaches get up here. But yeah, great game of cricket. And Aniket Parikh, the Cruskets, is bowling some seriously nice stuff, just dropping it out of the sky.
Can you please explain to me what a crusket is?
Crusket.
Yeah, what's a
It's an
crusket?
old term for a biscuit. They used to be sort of like a semi-looking biscuity thing, and used to put cheese on them with a bit of tomato. And Crusquets sort of break quite easily. There could be another run out here. This is great fielding from Parnell.
Yeah, fantastic. They really have put the pressure back on. That's the end of the 12th over. Just 3 runs and another wicket coming from it. The home side sitting at 53 for 5.
And that's me. I'm going to hand it back over to Graham Began to bring you through to the last closing stages of this match.
Thank you very much, Matt.
And here's Lockie Ferguson, the peach of all peaches.
So, as just stated there, delighted to be joined again in the commentary box by Graham Began. Graham, since you've been gone, this game has turned on its head.
Yeah, as we say, finals cricket, anything can happen. The Peaches have only recorded 2 losses this entire season, so I think that's something like 18 wins or 17 wins. So winning's a habit, so they weren't going to go away quietly. And as you can see, game on.
Yeah, the leading wicket takers in this competition are proving their name's worth. Takapuna, the dugout looking very quiet now. Nervous times for the home side, looking for their first ever 2020 finals win.
Little score comparison at the same time. The Peaches were 81 for 5 at the end of 12. The Pirates 53 for 5. But of course the Peaches being bowled out before the end of 20, so they left 16 balls out there. We'll see if that makes a difference if this game goes the full distance.
Yeah, we hear an awful lot about the importance of utilising all your overs, even if you're not going to go out and smash 6s and 4s every ball. Those 16 deliveries, you get a run of ball off that, you get yourself up to around 120. That could have made a massive impact in this game. But Parnell clearly showing off, proving they didn't need a massive score, and they backed themselves to defend anything. That one's spearing towards the pads, but nicely moved away. For another dot ball, every dot here for Takapuna, sending the required run rate up and up, and just putting more pressure on.
Yeah, I wonder if once that required run rate gets up, that it might just take a bit of pressure off the batsmen because they have to start playing some shots. It just seems like they've been so concerned about rotating strike that they've missed out on actually ball striking, and just got a bit tense. So sometimes when someone goes out and they've got nothing to lose, that's when the runs can come off.
Yeah, it's an interesting stage of the game. I feel watching here, we're almost at a stage where we're going to have one over in this game where one team is going to take a massive step towards winning, whether that be Parnell picking up maybe 2 wickets in an over, or one of the Taka batsmen getting hold of a few and sending an over for 20 or something of the likes. Ben Horn there, another wonderful take behind the stumps. He's been crucial today to have back in the lineup for Parnell.
Solanders has taken his time easing into this innings. He's striking at around 30, so the responsibility firmly on his shoulders to make up some of those runs at the back end.
Yeah, he will know after the two run-outs of his captain and the Aces captain, Craig Kachopa, that he knows he needs to be there at the end if his side are going to have any chance of winning this game. That's another fantastic over from the Parnell attack. Wonderful piece of bowling. 2 runs coming from the 13th. The home side 55 for 5.
There's a feeling of anticipation all around the ground now. Bit of chat going around. Just feeling of the game's on here.
Just 19 runs and 3 wickets coming from the last 7 overs, Graham. Fantastic performance from the Parnell bowling and fielding attack. They've given themselves every opportunity and might even have put themselves now favourites, unbelievably, to win this final. After being bowled out for just 98 after winning the toss, the away side suddenly sit in the dominant seat.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no surprise with the likes of Ben Horn and Brad Rodden and the coach Ian West that they've kept spin out of the power play, used their seamers through that first 6, and then have squeezed with spin through the middle, and have been able to restrict the run rate. Very few boundaries coming in the last 7 overs.
See, this is the thing. We can see Schlander's just there in that ball, working the ball out to the man at the cover sweeper. They're trying to push for 2, but the square boundaries are just too small. There's not enough room for them to be able to nudge that in and get a single, but that's been outside edge, just running away down towards the boundary, and it has gone for 4. Slightly streaky shot, but that's a slice of luck that Taka needed right now. And again, a little relief for the home side, a little break of the shackles. That takes them past 60, 61 now for 5. Another 38 runs required for victory for the home side here.
Of course, the momentum here all been with the Peaches these last 7 overs, but from this point on in the first innings, Takapuna taking 5 for 15 to close out the innings, and of course this last section of the game is where it'll be won or lost for either team.
Absolutely. 7 runs coming from that 14th over. Home side 62 for 5. 37 runs required. They're making hard work of it. Five wickets down on the way to chasing 99 for victory here today. And a change of bowling again from the tennis court end is going to be Ollie Pringle to continue.
Ollie has only bowled the 1 over so far. His first over in the game went for 9 runs. So if he can pull back a good spell here, could go a long way in closing out the game for Parnell.
He's had a fantastic tournament. 3 for 24 against Eden Roskill in round 2. 3 for 12 from just 3 overs against Auckland Uni Cricket Club in round 3. Picking up a total of 10 wickets so far in this competition. He has been a crucial member of this side for a couple of years now. And it's on occasions like this where you look to your big players to step up. And the wicket of Mike Schlanders could very well go a long way to helping Parnell win this final. Schlanders on strike now as Pringle comes in. Lovely bit of fielding for a tall man getting down there.
Both of these teams have showed the skill and the talent to obviously earn the right to be here, but one feels that this final will be won by the team with the most ticker. And that sort of composure and performance under pressure will certainly earn the right here.
That was Ticker, not Tickner, as in Blair Tickner, who plays for New Zealand. It's not what you meant.
He's back out on the field.
And good news on the injury front. Andy Lane is back out on the field
That way.
after having his finger popped back in.
No, still in.
It's still out. Still
Yeah,
out.
couldn't do it.
Committed man. Cup final, you'd have to drag him off the pitch. Good on him for staying out there. Ollie Pringle to continue. Fired into the offside for another dot ball. 64 for 5. Yeah, the home side. 35 runs required for victory. Just creeping up and up. Very manageable now, but they don't want to see that rate start to tick towards 8, 9 and over. They'll want to keep this ticking over. And as I say, that's why I feel there is a big over coming, whether it be for the bowling side with a couple of wickets or for the batting side, a big over with the runs. Excellent fielding down at long off. Just the one run there. Parnell have been electric in the field, as we knew they would be, just like in the semi-final against Suburbs.
I mean, a massive turning point already was that direct hit from Aniket Parikh from point, seeing the end of Will O'Donnell, who I thought 18 or 14 batted with a lot of intent and looked very composed out in the middle.
Oh, and he's got him. Ollie Pringle has done it. He has got the big wicket. The 6th wicket goes down for Tucker. Mike Schlanders has his leg stump removed, and Ollie Pringle has turned this final on its head this over. Unbelievable scenes here at the Onewa Domain as the home side chasing 99 for their first ever Men's Premier 2020 Championship are now sitting 65 for 6. Midway through the 15th over. Graham, that wicket could be massive.
Man of the moment, Ollie Pringle, form bowler for the Peaches, closing out the over with the big Yorker, and that pace through the air, maybe the extra height from where he delivered it from, enough to get through. Schlanders was looking to drive it through the offside. Wow, what a moment.
I'll tell you what, G, you watch 2020 cricket around the world these days and you see batsmen hitting the ball out of stadiums and 210, 220 runs scored each innings. Low scoring games always end up being as, if not more exciting, as being proved here. Runs on the board in a final, even if it is a low score like 98, is proving very difficult for the home side here. They are putting themselves under a huge amount of pressure, leaving it to the tail end to come in and mop up what should have been a straightforward chase for Takapuna's fantastic top 6, but all 6 of them have now been dismissed, and it's up to the bowlers. Gee.
Often that's the case. Bowlers having to clean up the batsman's mess, but there's have been challenging conditions. Spin has played a massive role. A wicket that has offered something.
Could there be a run out? Could he? Oh no, it's a big dive. Wasn't a brilliant throw, but again, more pressure. Sorry, three runs and the wicket came from the 15th over. Currently now all the 6s, 66 for 6. Every dot ball is crucial for both teams. We can hear it from the fielders out there. They're loving these dots. Nice batting, using his feet, coming down, pumping that one down the ground. They won't mind. They won't mind too much the ones, Parnell. It's definitely the boundaries they'll be wanting to keep to a minimum. But it's been a stop-start innings. We've had a couple of boundaries early on. Max O'Dowd taking 9 from the first over. But since he got dismissed early,
Andy Lane with an impressive bit of fielding at cover. Not only stopping the single, but they could have well beaten him and gone for 4.
so he's used his crooked finger of doom to keep that one to no runs. A wide signalled by the umpire.
A lot of tension at the moment.
A lot of tension. There's a decent sized crowd here at the Onewa Domain, but it's fairly quiet. People are watching with bated breath. The tension, you can cut it with a knife. If you're watching at home, wherever you are, talk to us on the live chat. Head over to YouTube at Auckland Cricket. Talk to us on the live chat. Let us know how you're enjoying this game. Who are you going? Who are you going for at the moment? Are you backing runs on the board, or do you back the Takapuna tail end as they're going to come back for 2? That's excellent running. Excellent running. So, G, from an impartial opinion, obviously, which camp would you rather be sitting in right now? On the spot. Runs on the board, or
runs
do you
on
back
the
your
board,
tail?
I think. Runs on the board. We got 1 over left here from Nikith, and Aniket might still. Aniket's got one left. Is that 1 or 2 left?
One or 2 left.
Gotta get the stats right.
5 runs from the 16th over, 70 for 6. Here, the home side.
So 4 overs left. 1 left from Nikith, who's bowled beautifully. His 3 overs have cost only 6 runs. So man of the moment here in the final. So one thinks another tight over here will really push that run rate up.
Absolutely.
A wicket or 2. Again, momentum swings in Parnell's favour. But do the Takapuna Pirates batsmen have the composure to see this one off and target the last 3? One of which will be bowled by another spinner, Aniket, and then 2 overs of pace.
So, 29 required for victory from the final 24 deliveries here at the Onewa Domain. And that one's hit the pad. Big appeal. The umpires turned away straight away. No interest in that whatsoever. Again, you might have a slightly better view of that one on the live screen than we do from the angle we're sitting at, but the umpire straight away not interested.
Yeah, and of course the umpires, also club match officials, so a big moment for them too, under the pressure.
Oh, absolutely.
They've got to get these decisions right.
Oh, and that one's gone big. It's a top edge. Is it going to carry the rope? Has it gone for 6? It has. It has. Short boundary square with the wind. That has just cleared the man out at deep square leg. Oh, that could have been so much worse for the home side, but he's got away with it. That's a big moment. 6 runs. 23 now required. Oh, and a little paddle sweep. No run.
Trusty Kookaburra coming through for him there. Just enough on it.
You know the bat hits it over the trees.
Oh, he's got to be. No, it's been fumbled. Probably should have been a run out. Not sure if that was a fumble by the keeper or merely just a poor throw. The batsman's ended up sprawled on his front. You can see the commitment. Both teams are going for this with all they've got. Wherever you're watching around the world right now, do not go anywhere. This is going to be a fantastic finish. Literally could go either way. Literally could go either way.
Big 3 balls here from Nikith. Young player, is bowled beautifully in the semi-final and up to today, but these next 3 balls might be how he remembers this final.
Absolutely. If he picks up a wicket here, you'd have to back Parnell, I think. Oh, it's us. What do you reckon Wasp is saying, G? What do you reckon? 20%? Really? Oh, it's going to be taken out of cover. No, it's fallen short. Oh, I thought it was going to for it.
And that's the over.
That is the over. Another run taken. 8 runs coming from the 17th over.
Thank you.
78 for 6. Now the home side. Could that over be a turning point? Thank you very much, Graham Began. Rejoined again by Matt McEwen. Was that the over for the home side? Has that given them the momentum to go on and win this game?
I think that one shot.
From 18 balls, and James, 8 runs. Nice piece of bowling. Another dot ball. I'll say it again, every dot ball so crucial here.
It's going to go down to the wire, this one. Parikh again.
Oh, and he's gone
that
big!
has gone big.
A big strike.
Big
That is a
old
crucial,
snotbox.
crucial moment. Van Vuren,
That is one of the big reef donkeys, that.
what a play. What a play. Back-to-back 6s in back-to-back overs. That's gone into the trees. We might need a new ball. Yeah, the match official coming out now with a couple. And again, this game swinging on a pedestal. It started off tackers. It swung back Parnells through the middle overs. But back-to-back 6s in back-to-back overs. Have Taka regained control of this run chase?
Yeah, this could be the over.
This could be the over.
This could be the over here.
I would love it if there was a wicket this over as well. And
We
just to
found the
make it
ball.
really
Don't worry, we
interesting.
found the
have
ball.
found the ball. Well, that's a superb
Hey, I'm
effort.
just going to slide out for a couple of balls here, and we're going to bring in Black Cat. Lockie Ferguson, also known as the favourite peach.
What a pleasure. Pleasure it is. Introduce into the commentary box, Lockie Ferguson. How are you, mate?
Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm good. How are we going?
Very good, mate. Great to have you here with us. First of all, thoughts on this final?
Oh, it's an absolute ripper. It's always a pleasure to see the Peaches versus Pirates in a final situation. The boys, being a Parnell boy myself, been playing some great cricket this year and had the pleasure of donning the maroon and gold over the weekend, which was super exciting. Today, though, very much a #1 fan.
So I'm going to put you on the spot as an impartial cricket expert. Which team are you backing here? Runs on the board, or do you back the tail?
No, I've got to back the Peaches. They've got a great bowling attack. And he's played a lot of high-level cricket, played with us in the Aces. And the leader of the fellow yearsman and fellow flatmate, Ben Horn, is leading from the front behind the stumps. And no doubt he's chirping away at the batters.
That's been carved away again for another 2. 9 runs so far coming from this over. A real statement of intent from this Taka pair. Have the last 2 overs taken this slightly out of Parnell's reach? Lockie, what do you think?
It's been a big over, this one.
As
A little bit of a momentum swing. for
lovely
sure,
bit of
yeah.
batting. Every run being cheered here by the home fans. 10 runs coming from the 18th over. The home side sit 88 for 6, requiring just another 11 runs from the final 12 balls. This is going to go right to the wire. 4 wickets still required for the Peaches to take.
Josh Fisher. Josh Fisher coming in here.
Leading wicket taker in the tournament.
Leading wicket taker, fresh off some Auckland A cricket earlier this week. He's been playing well all year, so he's known for these sort of golden arm moments when he comes on and snares a wicket or 2. Back him 100%.
If any team can pull through and pick up these last few wickets, it is the leading wicket takers in this competition, Parnell. They're going to need something special here. Probably going to need at least 1, if not 2 wickets from this over. I think a wicket with the first 2 balls in this over will really make the last few balls here interesting.
It is pretty amazing when it comes to finals cricket, just a score of 90, high 90s in a T20. You'd think that they'd be done and dusted, but it's been a great watch all day. There's a huge crowd here at the game as well, which is just so great to see. Getting behind both teams. Played in good spirits, of course.
Absolutely. Runs on the board in a final, proving to make a fantastic game of it. And even though we haven't seen some of the 4s or 6s and the big striking we might have seen from a small ground here, I think everybody can go away and say that this game has been extremely exciting. Back-to-back dot balls.
Great
for
slow
Josh
ball
Fisher.
there by Josh Fisher.
11
Slow ball Yorker.
11 now required from 10 balls. The Taka batsmen, yeah, they're just having a little chat in the middle of the wicket here. That's good experience from them. They don't need to panic.
I think you'll see cover mid-wicket squeeze in now. They're looking for a quick single, try to release a bit of that pressure, but could be a little run-out opportunity. There's been some close ones this game already with one outs coming through.
Where would you be targeting now, Lockie, if you were batting?
Oh, if I was batting or if I'm bowling? I think if I'm
you-
batting, I'm going to look to back away and carve. There's only a short third man and deep point out, and there's singles options there. Josh Fisher's looking to go full and straight here under the batter's swing arm.
Is that where you'd be looking if you had the ball in your hand as well?
Yeah, I'll be looking poles here. It's
your
crucial
basics.
time. You got to hit the poles. It's tough ground here as a bowler. Obviously short square doesn't quite suit my style of bowling of going for the lid, but certainly try to get under those poles. I think Josh will go for another slow ball here. See what happens.
Yeah, time to nail the fundamentals, I think, for Josh Fisher. Comes in again. Oh, and can
It's a
be
cruel
such a
game.
tough game. What a cruel game. It's an excellent bit of bowling. He's found the outside edge. Keeper up to the stumps. Absolutely no chance. That's run away for 4.
A little,
That could be a crucial moment. Is that the nail in the coffin
That's
for
tough
Parnell
to
Cricket
say.
Club? It is
tough
tough
for
to
the
say.
lads, but it's how cricket rolls sometimes. So for these little chasers, little edges like that, that's key.
You can see, you might be able to see it on the camera, might not on the over sort of deep extra cover region from where you're looking on the camera. All the Takapuna team, all the staff standing up, waiting for this game to be finished. Josh Fisher is just about keeping his team in it here. Still 6 required from 7 deliveries. I've seen stranger things happen, Lockie.
I've been in games where stranger things have
bet,
happened. No one wants a draw though. Let's get a win.
Oh, can we have a draw?
How's that? Jesus. Full toss off the pads there. Somehow going out the short thing now.
Oh, please. Oh, for the love of cricket. For the love of cricket.
Will we see
Let
a
it be
super
draw.
over today?
Will we see a super over? A single taken off the last ball there. So it's going to be 5 runs required from the final over here at the Onewa Domain of this men's Premier 2020 final between hosts Takapuna Cricket Club and the Peaches Parnell Cricket Club. If this goes to a tie, it will be a super over. The man sitting next to me knows all about those.
Yeah.
Oh, Lockie, I don't think I could take it if it went to a super over.
It's amazing this year how often it's happened as well. We had that one against England. But no, hopefully, who have we got bowling here? Ollie Pringle,
So,
senior statesman.
so you know the Parnell team very well. If this does go to a super over, who is coming out to bat? Who is bowling the over?
Wow, I'd say coming out to bat for the Parnell team, probably go for the informed batter. Ben Horn came off a big 100 yesterday. He's been striking the ball really nicely. It's a real toss-up for the next position. I saw Finn bat really nicely on Saturday, and obviously Brad Rodden with a huge partnership in one-day cricket, and they're obviously in form too. So probably two of those 3.
Or could it be more of a risk to go for somebody like an Ollie Pringle with the long handle and back him to clear the rope?
It's a problem we have at Parnell. Just so many great players. To actually pick 2 out of those is really tough. But at the same time, the Takapuna Pirates have players themselves that have been playing really well. Obviously, a few Aces boys filling in today, which is nice to see. Give back to some club cricket and enjoy a good contest.
Absolutely. Who would bowl the over for you?
That's a great question. I'm a big fan of Josh Fisher. I think his change of pace, he nailed hole in that last over. It's pretty unlucky, really. He had a couple of edges, one off the pads, an LBW shout, and a crucial over. That's a cut shot.
So in comes Ollie Pringle for the final over. Nicely swept away, nicely cut away to the man on the cover boundary. They'll come back for 2. 3 more runs required for victory by the home side. You can hear the home fans getting right behind them. They can sense it coming. I didn't think this game would make it all the way to the final over, but it has.
Just great stuff. It's great stuff.
It's been a fantastic day, fantastic game.
Big ball this coming up.
In comes Ollie Pringle. The crowd are silent.
Oh,
He
that's a
fires in
great
a
ball.
Yorker. And it's just clipped off the pad. That'll be a run. Just a little inside edge on it.
Yeah.
2 runs now required for victory by the Takapuna Pirates.
Ollie, full and straight here. I think he's going again. He's going to have to go poles.
Has to, doesn't he? Has to. Can't risk going for a short ball or anything like that.
Or a slow ball.
He's still got one man out, down at third man, but everybody else is now in the ring.
Going to have to go over the top.
So break the ring and you win the game. How is your bottle, Mr. Van Vuren? Dan James correction. And he goes for it and he's got through. And that is the game. That is the final. That is Takapuna Cricket Club's first ever victory in the Men's Premier 2020 competition. A massive congratulations to them. The home fans are going wild. And an amazing game here.
Well done to the Pirates.
Well done to the Pirates. But we have to say, what an incredible fight back from the Peaches. Parnell Cricket Club, hold your heads high. They have taken the home side all the way to the final over, defending just 98. It's been a superb day. Lockie Ferguson, thank you very much for taking all the way down to the final over of the game. A low-scoring classic. But in the end, it's the home side, the Pirates, that come away with their first ever victory in this competition. They've thoroughly deserved it, a star-studded side today. And in the end, the experience has just paid through. Massive congratulations to Takapuna Cricket Club. Commiserations to Parnell, they've certainly played their part today. As the players walk off to shake hands now, the game's been played in fantastic spirit. And I think everybody here at the ground can appreciate just how well both sides have competed today. A game that could have gone either way at any time. It seesawed throughout the entire match. Runs and wickets on both sides. But an absolute classic here at the Onewa Domain. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you live coverage on YouTube via the Auckland Cricket page. My name's Elliot Corbell. I've been your commentator today in association with Auckland Cricket. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you are still watching on the live stream, let us know your thoughts. And as the captains shake hands, we say goodbye to what has been a sensational day, a fantastic game of cricket, and fully deserved winners. Congratulations, the 2020-2020 champions, Takapuna Cricket Club.